I can't do that other one though.
One day when you become a domestic terrorist, and the family that ostracized you because you kept acting like a dickhead, don't come running to none of us while we got our shit together. You go run to fucking Mexico or something. If you find yourself gangbanging in 2026, just know there are citizens out here who are praying and hoping that one day you too will become a domestic terrorist. Yes, a domestic terrorist, and then your ass is grass. Because nothing good has come out of gangbanging, especially in the find yourself gang.
I like games.
Because every time one of you niggas does some stupid shit, it's labeled as black. No, it wasn't a black, it was a nigga. So one day when you become a domestic terrorist and the family that ostracized you because you kept acting like a dickhead, don't come running to none of us while we got our shit together. You go run to fucking Mexico or something. If you find yourself banging in 2026, just know there are citizens out here who are praying and hoping that one day you too will become a domestic terrorist. Yes, a domestic terrorist, and then your ass is grass. Because nothing good has come out of gangbanging.
Domestic terrorism. That should be fucking the white supremacy. Domestic terrorism.
So one day when you become a domestic terrorist and the family that ostracized you because you kept acting like a dickhead, don't come running to none of us. We got our shit together. You go run to fucking Mexico or something. If you find yourself gangbanging in 2026,
I can't tell if he's talking to Mexicans or black people.
Domestic terrorists, and then your ass is grass. Because nothing good has come out of gangbanging, especially in the black community. Because every time one of you niggas does some stupid shit, you just label it black.
Does some dumb ass shit.
No, it wasn't a black, it was a nigga. So one day when you become a domestic terrorist and the family that ostracized you because you kept acting like a dickhead, don't come running to none of us while we got our shit together. You go run to fucking Mexico or something. If you find yourself gangbanging in 2026, just know there are citizens out here who are praying and hoping that one day you too.
That's funny.
Hey, where are all the protests? I've been hearing and seeing a lot of videos of people saying that there are protests going on across America. I haven't seen any in months. And all of my content is about news and talking about things like these protests. I keep up to date on this on TikTok, on Instagram, on every platform, and I haven't seen a... single piece.
I'll repost.
Did y'all hear about them 4 Haitian women that got deported by ICE back to Haiti, and then they were later found on the border of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, decapitated? And if you don't know what decapitated mean, like they was missing their heads. What the fuck? Like, I knew the crime against women in Haiti is at an all-time high right now, but decapitated? Like, all 4 of them found with no head? And ICE did that. So, like, technically the blood is on their hands too, because what the fuck? Did y'all hear about them 4 Haitian women that got deported by ICE back to Haiti?
It's different when you get to the States. As early as the turn of the century, Mexican-American families called for educational reform. They protested the segregation of their children in so-called Mexican schools, where teachers severely punished Mexican-American students for speaking Spanish in the classroom.
Keep in mind that the Spanish language for many Mexicans is almost a characteristic of being Mexican. It's a defining characteristic, not an incidental characteristic. Young children were taught that the culture of their community, of their parents, was really a hindrance to success. If a child learned these kinds of things, he began then to look upon his cultural background, upon his parents, upon his community in a negative way. So you treat them and you teach them at the lowest common denominator of labor and how to use your hands. And you get them out into the fields and into jobs as quickly as possible. That was the Mexican experience in schools.
By 1946, parents in Santa Ana, California were fed up. They filed suit against local school officials and won. Mendez versus the Westminster School District declared the segregation of Mexican-American children to be unlawful. It set the stage for the landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision Brown versus Board of Education, which declared segregated schools unconstitutional throughout the United States. Despite this ruling, segregated schools remained, and even in integrated settings, Mexican-American students still suffered from neglect and unequal resources.
What did ever Mexicans do for us black Americans? What did they ever do? Name me one. They're out there saying, name me one.
As early as the turn of...
Name me one, they say. Where was that? Okay.
Mexicans are niggas too. You know that? Native Americans are niggas too. You understand? Black people went through slavery. Hispanics went through slavery. Black people were lynched. Mexicans were lynched. You know what I'm saying? In El Paso, Texas, in the 1900s, not even 50 years ago, you know what it said on that sign on that front door? No dogs, no Negroes, and no Mexicans. You know why? Because we're the same. Mexicans are niggas too. You know that? Native Americans are niggas too. You understand? Black people went through slavery. Hispanics went through slavery. Black people were lynched. Mexicans were lynched. You know what I'm saying? In El Paso, Texas, in the 1900s, not even 50 years ago, you know what it said on that sign on that front door? No dogs, no Negroes, and no Mexicans. You know,
Mexicans using the N-word. I want to know, is that offensive to the black culture, or is it more like a brotherly endearment term?
It depends on the hood you grew up in. If your hood had blacks and Mexicans, we struggle with the same thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cops pull us over, you know what I'm saying? We go through the same struggles and stuff like that. That aspects of life. In the hood, we struggle together. In the hood, we play together. In the hood, we family. In the hood, the fruit truck come by. You know what I'm saying? We buy from the fruit truck. In the hood, the corn man come by. We buy from the corn.
Like, other than the fact that they've, like, what are like the biggest things in your mind about that bill?
Huge amounts of money for border protection.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like $15 billion.
Yeah,
in border
more
protection.
money than they'll be able to spend, and gigantic increases yet again for the Pentagon. It's crazy.
Yeah, $15 billion for border protection seems insane.
Yeah. What are they gonna do with all that?
Yeah, like how do you?
I mean, like literally, what are you gonna do with all that? I don't know. Man.
Yeah, the raise. I mean, like the ICE stuff and like the raise, like that's another thing we haven't even talked about. But that's another thing. Yeah. All of the like the what would you call them? Like the high IQ MAGA people are really questioning and pushing back on. Like
right, because these guys are wearing masks. They're not wearing uniforms. There's no identification. You don't know if they're ICE or if they're a kidnapper or a cartel guy or some nut who wants to be.
And they're showing up at construction sites and Home Depots and arresting workers.
Right.
And handcuffing 6-year-olds.
Yes.
And not going after like real rapists and criminals and people who are like doing really bad shit.
I know that you didn't intend for this to be the Massey Appreciation Society show, but Massey was talking about this on the floor of the House the other day, saying this doesn't make any sense.
No.
If you want to fulfill your campaign promises, let's grab the murderers and the rapists and the robbers and people who've been convicted of a crime, or even if they've got minor crimes on their record, if they're career criminals, grab those people and send them back to, or send them to wherever they came from. There's this situation in Djibouti right now, too. Have you followed this?
I have not.
So we've got 8 guys that we grabbed. Every one of them has been convicted of either murder or armed robbery.
I lost a couple hundred followers last week and was told to stick to talking about money. Okay, then let's talk about money. ICE's budget just hit $85 billion, making it the highest funded U.S. law enforcement agency. That's your tax dollars. That $85 billion could be going towards affordable housing, healthcare, and anything that the people have been asking for. Instead, we're funding an agency whose aggressive tactics are making our communities feel less safe, not more. But here's the economic reality. Immigrants contribute nearly $580 billion towards taxes every year and have $1.6 trillion in spending power. Last year alone, they added close to $50 billion in personal income and consumer spending. They're contributing a lot more to the economy than you think, and they're not the reason why you can't find a job. And when you remove workers from agriculture, construction, and food service through mass deportations, costs begin to skyrocket. Your groceries get more expensive, housing takes longer to build and costs more, and restaurants begin to raise their prices. That's how supply and demand works. If you care about where your tax dollars go, what you're paying for at the grocery stores, and feeling safe in your own community, call your senators and let them know. Tell them that you want funding that actually helps people, not hostile enforcement that drives up your costs and makes us feel unsafe.
Yesterday on Bill Maher's show, he said nobody's even talking about ICE anymore, as though these things are fads that come and go. It's true that there's been less discussion about ICE recently, and the reason for that is we have been dragged into an unconstitutional and illegal war in the Middle East where civilians are being killed by the thousand. We blew up an entire school filled with little children, so that is distracting us from the kidnapping of our neighbors. There's another reason. Greg Bovino was fired or transferred and then retired shortly after to save face. Kristi Noem was fired. It's not to say we're giving them the benefit of the doubt because they installed Tom Homan and they're going to put Mark Wayne Mullen in there, who is a plumber. If he was running for Secretary of Plumbing, he would be a good candidate. But as DHS director, he's woefully underqualified. It was a Democrat, John fucking, I had a stroke and got brain damage and now I'm a Republican Fetterman, who passed his nomination because Rand Paul could have sunk it. And so we are still talking about ICE. Let's talk about ICE. 42 people have died in immigration custody over the last 12 months. 42 people. These are not bad people. There was a Bulgarian business owner who was here legally and had been here for 35 years, a business owner. There was an imam in Ohio, a 19-year-old, they said killed himself. The conditions in these detention centers are what killed him. These are for-profit prisons on the U.S. stock market who treat people as numbers. And they're dying on our watch, and it's our responsibility.
And then this one's my favorite. I don't know if you know this, but you guys have $858 million, again, almost $1 billion, okay, of money to give out bonuses to people. And so listen, bonuses are great when people do good work, but
Indigenous.
Hello?
What's up? Give me your race, your ethnicity, where you're from.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas and I'm black.
You're from Texas and you're black. Black as a race? Black as in your race? Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a black man here in Texas, man. Yeah.
You indigenous black man in Texas?
Well, however you want to call it, but I didn't get on here for that. I got on here because I'm confused the fact that you have FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, like we're doing something wrong. Let me tell you something, man.
Well,
a lot of Hispanics.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I'll finish playing to you.
Yeah,
a lot of Hispanics I know in Texas, California. I can't speak for other states, But when they get in certain positions, they don't hire black people, man. So when a black person go out and get a job with the government, now y'all say they sellouts. But your people, your racist ass people, whoever you are, because you got to be a racist clown if you sitting here having FBA like we're following some type of orders or something. No, man. Mexicans don't hire us. When they get in those positions, they bring their ass to our neighborhood. We invite them in, and they send all the illegals in our neighborhood and take over. Yeah. So what we supposed to do? Not work? You say we lazy, but the minute we get a job, there's a problem, right? It's a big problem now. We got a
You're
job. That's a
you're
problem.
falling into all the stereotypes because you putting yourself there.
No,
You
ain't
know,
no stereotypes, man.
no one's
No,
saying,
no, no,
no
sir,
one's
no,
saying
sir.
you. I
Ain't no
I
stereotype.
didn't put no African American in that picture for a reason. That's a FBA for a reason. Okay, FBAs are
Okay,
doing
but
this
do
to
you know what
themselves. So
FBA is? Do you know what
yeah,
FBA is?
definitely know what a FBA is.
Tell me what it is. What?
It's a foundational Black American,
Exactly.
non-immigrant, back to the
Exactly.
back to chattel slavery.
Back to who?
Chattel slavery. You ever heard of it?
What
The
chattel
lean,
slavery had to?
the
What do?
lineage, the
What do?
lineage.
What do chattel slavery have to do with a black person here in America working for ICE? Explain that.
So I'm talking about what FBA means, where it derives from, what the
But,
lineage says it comes from.
but I'm
That's what I'm
asking you a
talking about.
question though. I'm going
So
by
you
what
want
your
you
picture
want
say.
you want to talk about the prompt, the picture on the prompt.
I mean, that's the whole reason I got on here.
Okay. So
I want you to explain that
so
because it's
you
more.
so you
Oh, go ahead.
FBAs, you guys hate the that I bring the similarities, is the parallels of ICE slave catchers and now
So
people
Mexicans
that.
don't do that.
Hold on now. Let me talk now. Let me talk. Mexican or Hispanics, because you keep switching the goalposts. You say Hispanics, Mexicans. You got to understand you're grouping a whole bunch of people together, man.
They all the same to me, man.
No. Well, that's
I
me
say to
saying
me.
that's just
To
like me
me.
saying all black people in America are the same. That's a lie. That's a
To
lie.
me. I said to me.
Well, because you're ignorant. You're ignorant,
No.
indigenous. You only see
I'm finna
those
explain
people
to you
in
why.
one way, one
I'm
perspective.
finna
No,
explain
I'm
to you
not done
why.
talking. I'm not done talking. Let me give you some context before you go off, okay? The concept, the parallels that you draw here are the fugitive slave acts, that happened when people were chasing them down and kidnapping them and bringing them back into slavery.
Okay.
When we're talking about these detention centers and we're talking about deportation, they're not really they're not deporting these people. A lot of them they are, but a lot of them they're keeping them here to work, and they're putting them they're building these infrastructures that are worth millions of dollars so they can keep them there working, just like they do to prisoners nowadays, the modern day slavery through like the 13th Amendment, If you commit a crime, you do the time, but they're putting them back to work. They put them back to work. So I'm saying, if Black Americans went through so much, they understood what happened. How do we not see the parallels between what ICE is doing now? And there's already been some Black Americans that have been unalived by ICE. Black Americans have been detained by ICE. And I don't see any future benefit to this. Now, when you make up Hispanics, there's a white, Hispanic, Spanish communities, right, and Latinos that make up all of South America. And then when we're talking about Mexicans, who make up 40% of the undocumented people here, because Texas is Mexico. I don't know if you knew. I mean, obviously it's not.
Texas was a part of Spain, but go ahead. Go ahead. Texas was a part of Spain, but go ahead. No, I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it was ruled by Spain, but you had indigenous
Texas
people
was
there
a part
from
of Spain.
Mexico.
It never was.
Indigenous.
Texas was
You
never
had
part of
indigenous
Mexico.
people. You had
Texas,
indigenous
but go
people
ahead.
in Mexico, from
Yeah, go
Mexico.
ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you had Arizona, you had New Mexico, you had California. You already know. I don't have to tell you. You already
Okay.
know the Tejano goddamn history in Mexico. I mean, in
Okay.
Texas.
Okay.
So if you don't see the parallels, how they're trying to use trying to change 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship, and if you jump in, if you're on the bandwagon with Donald Trump and this current administration, if you will blaga, okay, and you don't see how this could affect us, because it could affect Black Americans, because at one time they were illegal as well. After they stopped the slavery, people were still smuggled in as illegal. So if we're trying to change these white people's terminology, how do you not see them redefining what your citizenship is or what your status is in this country? Where I'm not trying to say you're next. I'm just saying, like, how do you trust this current administration to not only go after the so-called Mexicans, you know, and they're only rounding up the brown ones. They're not rounding up the white Hispanics, the white Latinos, the Mexican Americans, the Chicanos. And I agree with you. Those people can be racist. They're racist towards their own, you know. So this is what America does. America assimilates people, gets them to forget their language, their culture, and turn on their own people at the end of the day. That's what we have now. It's like saying like a black people working for the cops. You know what I mean? They still have a job to do, but they indirectly hurt the communities that they're trying to serve and protect. So these are the parallels I'm making. I don't have any respect for an FBA. I have respect for African Americans and even some Black Americans that have some goddamn sense. But I don't have any respect for no FBA. I've already clashed with them too many times. That I already know where this ideology comes from, and I'm just not subscribing to it, you know. But go ahead,
Well,
Vision.
you know, I appreciate you for letting me speak, but you know, you hit a couple of pointers, but man, you know, be honest with you, your pointers was completely off. For instance, like you talk about ICE, how they you trying to say that it's the same thing like it was during the slavery with slave catchers. Right now, today, ICE is only going after the people that's illegal. Why would you want to come to a country illegal, knowing you broke law already? Come over here illegal, and then have kids because you want to piggyback off the hard work Black Americans did. Instead of saying, man, you know what, Black people did it good. We want to stand together. But instead of y'all saying that, 90%, man, look, I live in Texas, bro. Every Mexican, 90% of the Mexicans I come across here in Texas are more racist than white folk, dog. I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I come across more racist Mexicans, and they don't say Hispanics because you got the Colombians, you got Salvadorians, all the people like that. They not racist as Mexicans. Mexicans are racist, and it's a part of y'all culture, bro. I don't know if you're Mexican or not, so I ain't gonna say y'all because I don't know if you're Mexican or not. But Mexicans here in Texas are more racist than any white guy had an issue with. Any white person I ever had a problem with, they wasn't racist. As more racist as these white motherfuckers. I mean, no, Mexicans. Mexicans racist as fuck down here in Texas. Way racist. Way more racist than any white person I came across. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna sit and lie to you. Man, look, I would love it. I would love it if it could be a black and brown thing. But you know what? It can't. Just like this Mexican lady, she's a cop. There's a video of her surfing right now talking about that she dropping the N-bomb, talking about she hate Black people, she want to arrest them. I mean, she's a new cop. She's a cop walking around with a badge and a gun saying she hate Black people. She said she became a cop to arrest Black people. This happened, actually I seen this today here in Houston. I've never seen a white person racist like that, bro.
Oh my God, Indigenous, stop being disingenuous, bro. White people put in 500 years of enslaving Black people in America, and you say that these Mexicans are more racist. But
listen, yes, again, they are.
Indigenous, hold on, bro. Let me explain something, bro. You cannot do that. You cannot generalize all people just because of these people that you see that have extreme spectrums, right? About being American. And what I told you about integrating and assimilating to American culture is to be a racist at the end of the day, is to be a sellout, is to be a backstabber on your own people. That is what it is. Carla, hold on. I ain't done. All those attributes, American exceptionalism, nationalism, these are the attributes that one has to pick up to claim allegiance to America. I don't know if you know that, Indigenous. So even these attitudes that you're having about different groups of people, this is all part of the divide and conquer tactic. So it's no different. And Indigenous, these groups all fight amongst each other. You know?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And so you got to understand, I am Mexican on my mother's side, but she's Afro-Mexican. You know, you got the whole coast. You got Guerrero, Oaxaca, Veracruz, where Black Mexicans exist. You know what I mean? And they go through. So hold on. So when you talk about Mexicans, know that you're talking about a nationality that a lot of different demographics live in. Just if I were to say Americans and only think of white people, I'd be wrong for that. I'd be wrong to think of America as only a racist country, which it is, but I'm saying I'd be in bad faith calling everybody in there a specific type of attitude, sentiment, or a race of people. You know what I mean? So we gotta be careful when we talk like that. Okay, I want you to be.
So you're telling me right now, Now you just stated that you was basically Afro, and then your mom is Mexican. So you telling me
No,
right
no, no,
now?
no, no. Hold on. My
You said you
mom
was
is.
mixed, right?
Hold on. Yes. Hold on. My mom is Afro Mexican from Oaxaca, right? And
Oh,
then
okay.
my father is Eritrean from Eritrea in East Africa. You know where that is?
Yeah, we just said Africa, but I never heard of it. But so you telling me right now you never heard of race of
You know
Mexican?
where Nipsey Hussle's from?
Okay, yeah,
You
okay, I
heard
got you.
Nipsey Hussle? Yeah, that's that region. So I
Okay.
got two sides. I'm bi-ethnic. I got two different cultures, two different black cultures in two different countries. Okay.
And here's another thing. When a lot of Hispanics, I'm gonna say Hispanics, make you feel comfortable, but a lot of Hispanics say that who's indigenous, who's not indigenous. Did you know that during slavery, when they were signing over all that land to the so-called indigenous or so-called American Indians and the Indians, whatever, those five civilized tribes, each one of them had over 10 to 20,000 slaves. They had their own slaves other than America owning slaves for the white folk, but these so-called indigenous people had slaves for over 400, 500 years, just like the white people, right? But when America signed those treaties to give land to all those so-called indigenous people, did you know that the so-called American Indians cut out all those slaves, the ones that was entitled land? Now, some of them got land, some of them, but it was a small percentage, right? A very, very, very small percentage. But do you know those people right now today is fighting the ancestors of the slaves, so-called FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, because those are the ones ancestors was brought up into slavery. Do you know that they're denying them land? They're denying them money, but they want to. But the Mexicans, I'm gonna say Mexicans because Mexicans are the only ones say they're indigenous. But the Mexicans turn around and say, "Oh no, black people are not indigenous. They will have no ties to the tribes." But we do. We do have ties to the tribes. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to things like that, until people in the Hispanic community step up and say, "We've been wrong," just like the white man, we're always gonna be going around in circles, bro. Because you know what? I never seen a video of a fucking cop, a black cop, saying how much he hate Mexicans or hate Hispanics. You never see it because we don't do that. You see what I'm saying? So all that stuff have a lot to do with it, man. All that from being indigenous. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen. We're now, we're hearing now all the hate towards these groups of people, which I don't, at the end of the day, I definitely can vouch that there are a lot of people that are anti-black, that are Latino, that are Hispanic. That's for sure. And even including in Mexico, and even them hiding their black ancestry in the closet. They do that, and we call it out as much as we can. But it doesn't help when who's pitching for the white guy and who's agreeing with, and Mexicans have done that. Mexicans have been an ally, but also they've been warring with white tea people. They've been warring with white tea people's henchmen, which were black men for a long time too. Under slavery. So there's a lot of tension, and we know there's a lot of tension, man. So right now people are putting themselves in positions where they're picking sides. And so it's kind of like, I kind of explain it like blood in and blood out. You ever see that movie?
I saw,
yeah. You see how the half-breed white tea and half Mexican dude got into the Mexican gangs and was able to manipulate them and get them to turn on the black brothers in there and the white tea people. So that movie is very telling, man. I had to watch it again because
you been to jail before?
It just twice.
Okay, so if you've been to, well, I'm gonna say prison, because if you've been to prison before, right here in the streets, the neighborhood, you have some neighborhoods that's black and Mexican, black and brown. You know what I'm saying? And then like you got a lot of Hispanics right now in hip hop saying, yeah, you got a lot of Hispanics feel that they can say the N word. Yeah, we the same, we brothers, we this, we that. But the minute they go to jail, go to prison, you know whose side they take? They're down with the Aryan the KKK and the Aryan Nation, and they down with them. They ain't down with no black people.
That's not necessarily true, though, Indigenous. No, not all the time. Bro. No, it's not. I can tell you.
Anybody that's been to jail.
Man, listen, I worked for a nonprofit, Barrios Unidos, who talks to prisoners and they do rehabilitation for them when they get out.
Ask somebody about Tango Blast. Tango Blast is a Mexican gang or Hispanic gang, whatever. And you know what? They don't mess with blacks. They don't mess
Yeah,
with black
okay.
people
Yeah,
because
they
they want
can't.
to be
When
down
you
with
in
the
jail,
whites.
you got to pick a side. Indigenous,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
but
what
they
I'm.
pick sides with
But
white
that's a
people. Is what I'm
different
telling
code of
you.
ethic. That's a
No,
different
no,
moral.
bro.
Yes, it
No, it's
is.
not. No,
No,
it's
look,
not.
listen.
They pick sides with white people.
If you
They
trying to
pick
bring,
sides with white folks.
well, when there's of course, look, listen. I can't speak for all the gangs, but you can also generalize all the gangs, the Mexican gangs, and who they don't work for the Aryan Brotherhood. Like you fucking crazy.
Oh man, they down with them, bro. They are down with them.
Okay,
They're the same. In prison, they the same.
Again, it's a different ethnic, it's a different a code of conduct in there. Okay, and I'm not. We can't relate that to the streets. Okay, because it's not
Of
the
course you
same.
can.
No, you
It is
can't.
the same.
It's different.
Yes, you
It's
can.
indigenous. They have to pick sides in jail. They have
No,
to.
you don't. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
you
let me ask
do.
you a question. Let me ask you a question.
If you
Let's
want
say you got a home.
protection,
Now
if you
listen.
want
No,
protection,
it's not about protection. It's not about protection. Listen. Let's say you got a homeboy that you grew up with. Y'all was best friends, and this person was a white guy. You and this white guy was best friends, right? Let's say that you and this white guy, since you look the color you look, you can fit in. You see what I'm saying? Because based on the way you said you mix with, you can fit in. Because most black people look like that. Let's say that you and your best friend, which is a white boy you know him for years. Let's say y'all get stuck in a hood somewhere in a city that y'all know nothing about. Let's say that he get mashed on by 15 black guys because one of the black guys just got mother just got unalive by a Caucasian. So they got him. What you gonna do? They not hitting you now. They ain't doing nothing to you. But all these guys is banging your homeboy, right? All upside the head, stabbing him. What you gonna do? You gonna ride with him, or you gonna tell him just relax and we'll get him back later?
I don't have no white boy friends. Okay, so I can't relate. But look, I've been.
I didn't say boyfriends. I said your homeboy,
I've been
man.
in scenarios when I've been with my Black American friends, right? And they jump in. They don't know the person. They don't know nothing. They just jump in to get a good lick in. You know. So again, it's a different mentality. Indigenous. It's a different realm, bro. It's being wanting to be accepted and doing everything you can to be accepted. You know. And when
exactly. Accepted by the white man.
When you in that gray area, bro, who knows what someone will do to get appraised, honored, or to be accepted into something, you know? So
yeah, but to be accepted by the white man, dog.
I don't think we can. I don't. But that's my best friend. You saying he's my best friend? You see how you put in the conditions right now.
That guy was your best friend. So if it was me in that situation, I'm gonna ride with my best friend, dog. Period. I ain't
you would ride with the white man. Look at you.
No. I said my best friend. No matter if he was white, no matter if he's Hispanic, whatever. If that's my best friend, for instance, my best friend can be Hispanic. Black guys can jump him. I'm finna ride with my homeboy, man. That's my homeboy. If he's Hispanic, hey, that's just what it is. We both gotta get beat up.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
You're saying, but you're not giving me that. You don't have no Hispanic friends. You're not giving me that energy. You know, you only look at them. You don't have a perspective about Mexican people. And right, you live in Texas. You're surrounded by them.
You're right. I have a
but you on this FBA tip, man, and I definitely understand where you come from.
You must understand what
I've heard every single point you've made. I've heard before. It's not.
You must understand what FBA is.
You guys all have a script and you all read through it. Okay.
No,
y'all get in a little meeting and then you have all these talking points that we've heard over and over again.
You don't understand what it is, though.
I do, though.
You can't understand.
I do. I'm writing a dissertation on FBAs alone. Okay.
Tell me exactly what it is.
Look, Indigenous. Let me get to Carla. Let me let everybody chime in.
Go ahead,
Carla. Carla probably on your side too. I've dealt with her before. Hey, Carla, how's it going? All right, we're gonna skip Carla. We're gonna.
Hey, I'm here. No, I just wasn't by my mic. Hey, Vibes. Why do you let Moose come into your shows and like take over the room and stuff?
Because he's my buddy. He's my best friend, right?
You know, professional is one thing and friendships is
no,
another.
You just have an issue with Moose, you know, but I don't have an issue with Moose. But if sometimes I let him write it because he's my mod, and that's what mods do, you know. I can't be behind this thing the whole time. So he comes through and helps out sometimes. All right. Don't take anything personal, Carla. We're just I think
your room can have potential and I want to support it more, except for when he's here, because it's just, I mean, you can have other mods too, right?
I
not
do
just
have other
him.
mods, but yeah,
But you
somehow
only
you guys
hear
always
him.
come
He
together.
just
You guys
takes
always
over.
all
You
right,
know
all
what I'm
right.
saying?
But well, I let him take over. That's the thing, Carla. Carla, do you want to speak on the topic, or just should I move on?
We'll move on. Go ahead.
All right, Carla. Thank you. All right, Truth Teller, welcome to the panel. Can you introduce yourself, your race, your ethnicity, where you're from, and then go ahead and respond to anything that you've heard so far, or speak on the
My
topic.
race is black also, ethnicity Bahamian, and my age is 35. I feel like your poster is extremely accurate, and I don't disagree with it in any capacity.
Come on now, why you bring me up here? You know she mad at me, bro. Why you
All
bring
right,
me
hold
up
on, Uncle Moose. Thank you, Truth. Can you elaborate, Truth Telling?
I'll be in the comments, bro. Let her not cry again today.
I'll go ahead and elaborate. I feel like
Okay.
you mentioned earlier in regards to the commentary about the lineage of chattel, that's accurate. Like, these people were recently freed and they are still nationless. So whatever their master tells them to do, they will do it because they're still up under their feet. They never fought and won their freedom. So they feel a type of way about the different groups that did actually fight back and win. And what I notice in their community, hold on, even if they don't have a target to attack, because no indigenous, you had all this talk about the white man, but who can beat y'all talking about
Let her land, brother.
cut it out. Who can beat y'all talking about the white tea woman is better than the black woman? Y'all go against your own women, against your own so-called lineage. You're making mixed children. You think every other color that is look like your master is better than you, low-key, because when you interbreed, you're practicing a form of G-side by erasing and deleting your own race.
And so
Go
again,
against people that look like you.
let me just add to something what she was saying. When you cut off the diaspora, when you cut off Africa, I mean, I think that's what she dropped. I think that's what she's what's the term? That's what she's kind of hinting at, that this is what you're cutting off, and I think you're doing it out of kind of like the gangs, indigenous, kind of like the survival aspect of it. You got to pick your side, and now you have. And you have the group that's willing to bash other black immigrants, other Africans, in the name of being an American. You're more American than all these other immigrants. It only makes sense.
My man, it'll be completely different if the immigrants that came to America. First of all, she said that black people don't have. We never got freedom. Black people. The reason why people like you can come to America is because what my ancestors did.
Exactly.
My ancestors did that. So you should have checked her, bro. But you didn't check her.
No. Let me tell you why you guys right now voted the couch. You don't have the same heart as your ancestors. You don't wear the same shoes. You don't lace them up the same way. Listen. The 14th Amendment was legislated by white people. They didn't have your best interest in mind when they drafted that shit up.
But the 14th Amendment was for slaves only.
The point is,
the 14th Amendment was for my ancestors, not immigrants to come over here and break law.
Those people had more. Listen. Those the best interest, like I said before, white women got rights under the 14th Amendment before, unfortunately, black Americans. The first wave of European immigrants got their rights under the 14th Amendment. Black Americans suffered 120 something years under Jim Crow and black codes under the 14th Amendment. When we say that these people are redefining, when we say these people are redefining what the 14th Amendment is to them, because again, this is their language. This is their language, indigenous, not our language.
We're here to do that.
You ever heard the fork tongue language? So if we let them reinterpret this just to kick out, and again, this doesn't work retroactively like you guys think it's going to be. Like, oh, you calling us anchor babies and we're going to get deported if this gets redefined. No, it starts after the fact. So every new child born here will be affected by this. It doesn't help all the Americans now that are already Americans. That citizenship stays with them. That's not going anywhere. So what?
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Indigenous. I've already looked this up. I already fact checked this. It's not
No,
going to
they
affect
broke.
them. It's not
Yes, it
going.
is. They
I
broke
know you
law.
wish. I know you wish
No,
it
I
was
don't
because you
wish
guys
that.
were
No,
talking
I
so
don't
much
wish that.
shit already about this.
No, I don't wish that. They broke law though, man. You can't break law and then come somewhere and expect law to support you.
No. These people are already Americans.
You cannot.
Their children
No,
for
they're not.
generations are already
No, they're
American. There's
not.
nothing you can do about them
No, they're
being
not.
here. You know what I
No,
mean?
they're not, sir. You cannot break
Indigenous.
law and then expect the law to cover you.
Indigenous
Think about that
people
for a minute.
can't just create.
Think about that
People
for a minute.
cannot just be illegal out of nowhere. White people made Black Americans illegal for so long before they introduced the 14th Amendment. What made you think that they couldn't just make people illegal just from a snap of a finger? First, they're legal
Laws
First,
can
they're legal
change.
immigrants.
People
First, they're
can do
legal
whatever they
immigrants.
want. They
It's
can
called
do whatever they want.
undocumented. Okay, it's called undocumented. It's not called illegal. You guys put this dehumanizing language on people, and then
Listen up here and dehumanize us now. You talk about us as though we're slaves in 2026. We were not allowed.
FBAs are house Negroes. You guys still under the
Whoever
white
you're
man's
talking
house. So
about.
yes,
See,
yes,
so, okay,
I
so
still
then we
consider
can be
you
dehumanizing
mentally
too, then.
enslaved, Carla. I still consider you guys mentally
All right,
enslaved.
so you shouldn't complain about dehumanizing language then. That's how I feel
No,
about it.
well, you guys want to call us illegals, then you're gonna have a little pushback.
Well, then
You
it's
can't
got to
cry
go
about
both
it.
ways. No complaints
Okay,
then.
well then that's fine. No complaints, Carla. But I'm saying you guys are so appalled by this image, you know. And it's like, look at the sign. Look at the Indigenous. Look at the Texas sign from 1920s. It said no dogs, no Negroes, and no Mexicans. Okay, we were all
But
discriminated against.
just because Black Americans, Foundation of Black Americans, want to pull away from everybody but our own, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with Black people saying that we want to support Foundation of Black Americans first.
But you're not the majority of the
first.
people that feel that way or subscribing to that ideology. And you guys are a small fracture on TikTok.
They will when they hear you talking about their relatives like that.
No, when our elders, when our youth hear you guys talk about our people, our roots back at home, or any Black diaspora, this is what I'm scared of, and this is what I push back on, because you guys are not going to convince them they're indigenous to this land. You're not going to, when these people already know their roots, you're not going to be there to talk down on them and to be xenophobic. Okay, so that's why I'm up here.
Y'all do that here every day on this app. You talk
Carla,
about them enough.
stop
When you
the
talk about
cap.
them, when you talk about us, you talk about them. Those are family. We all go to the same Thanksgiving Day dinner table together every year. We sit around the table. We are family.
No.
Yes.
Black Americans are not as united as you think they are, Carla. You got your Republican, your Democrats, your Protestant, your 49ers, your Patriot fans. You guys are so not united as you think.
And we all go to the same house on Thanksgiving Day.
No, that's not true.
All those differences.
Carla, but you guys still have the same arguments and splinter off. Either you go back home and you don't talk to each other until the next holiday. Stop.
They got the same grandma. Yep. Same. This is our family. Yep.
Okay.
That's possible.
So listen, there's a lot of other people outside of your common ancestry, right? When we talk about lineage, you're talking about your common ancestor. You're not talking about this lineage that goes back to chattel slavery and giving it a timeline. That is so disingenuous to leave out the Africans that had arrived here and got their own freedom and were able to mix and mingle with the indigenous people.
It's what we choose to do.
And those people weren't illegal because those people, Carla, are not illegal because they didn't choose to integrate with white people and become their slaves. Those people fought for their freedom. So now they're illegal because they're not under the thumb of white people, the oppressor.
I don't understand. You want us to claim that we come from them, but then you say that they were better than us?
FBAs claim African ancestry, whether you like to know it or not. You go look at the FBA website.
But you just said that they were better than us. So then what sense do we...
Who's better than us? Who's better than you?
You said the people who fought for our rights and fought for you to come here. You saying that we are we're not the same as them or something.
Right. No, yeah. So when you try to FBA wash African American achievements or their struggle or their plight, that's what we're saying. That's the erasure that we're talking about.
So then they're right to say they aren't from them. They're right to say that. and you shouldn't have no problem with it.
Okay, but if you're speaking for all of black people in America, I feel that that's kind of disingenuous to make immigrants feel that this is how black people feel about all immigrants when that's not true. We know the vast majority of black people in America do not hold these sentiments, do not subscribe to FBA.
But how do you know if you're not there?
Because I talk to them every day. I talk to my brothers and
but
sisters
you ain't
every
there
day.
in their homes at the Thanksgiving
You're not around immigrants. Carla, you didn't grow up with them. This is what most black Americans say. I never grew up with them. I don't see them.
I'm around black Americans, and I play this
so
at the Thanksgiving table.
So you're getting all these anecdotes. You're getting all these anecdotes and scenarios that they keep repeating on TikTok, and you guys regurgitate them. All right.
I'm there in my grandma's house. You're not, and I will play something like this around the table for everybody to hear it, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is how they feel," just like that. Sentiments change.
That's fine because you guys highlight all the bad, all your little scenarios where you come up on other people's lives and you create a narrative that fits your narrative,
voice is
right?
Your voice.
Yeah, and then you set something up where you wait for that pushback, you highlight it, and now you generalize the whole demographic of people. If I were to do that,
if you don't say it, I can't play it. If you don't say it, I can't play it.
If you don't say it, I can't play it.
That's right.
So let me grab every ignorant ass black American that says the most racist, heinous shit about immigrants and play it and say that that's all black people in America that feel like that. That'd be disingenuous, right, Carla?
You can do that. Yeah, you can
No,
do
but
that.
do you not understand where you?
But it doesn't say.
Disingenuous?
You know what? It doesn't make a difference because they come here and say this shit regardless.
Right.
And you're heavily outnumbered. I can't see how that would even be to more
on TikTok, maybe because you guys flood this app. Like you think this is where Congress hears our pleas and our grievances. You think this is really where our grievances get heard? No.
I'm saying you're outnumbered population wise. The immigrants are outnumbered population wise. I can't see how doing that with making more enemies of us would be beneficial.
What are you talking about?
You just said you would go and play these snippets and say that this is how all black Americans are.
You said that. Oh my God. You said that. I was repeating what you said on the
I said that about
side.
you guys. But you said you would do the same about black Americans to your
I said if I would do the same, it'd be disingenuous.
Okay, and I said that wouldn't help you, seeing that you are the minority of a minority.
Who's the minority? I'm not an immigrant, Carla. Who are you talking to? I'm not an immigrant.
You sound like you just said you're a child of an immigrant. So that's what I mean.
Okay, well, that's your problem. That's your issue. You can't do shit about it. And this is why you guys are trying to redefine this is why you're trying to redefine the 14th Amendment, but it's to no avail. It's to no avail. You know, you're not going to change my status.
I'm trying to redefine it because I'm tired of people.
You're not going to change my status, though. It's not going to change my status, though, right, Carla? You know that, right?
It doesn't have to.
So
that's what other laws are for. But y'all want to keep kicking the hornet's nest. Do you want to keep kicking the hornet's nest saying you can't do about it? Nah. That's the kind of shit that makes people get laws. These laws aren't on the books until they are.
Why are you redefining
That's what makes people do them.
You didn't get to choose to redefine it. Donald Trump, your daddy, is redefining it. And you guys hop on his dick every time and repeat everything he says. That's all you guys do.
Everybody in Congress and in law and the executive office, they work for us. That's how this country works.
Yeah, if they work for you, why did they take out all the black programs?
Ronald Reagan did not want to make MLK.
Why did they take DEI? Why did they take all the jobs from these black women? The Republican Party, if they work for you. Stop the
They didn't exclusively take jobs from black women. They can't do that. If people lost their jobs during firing, they did not say we're going to exclusively fire black women. That is a fucking lawsuit.
They just say they just say it's not DEI. You know,
of course, they can say whatever they want, but to actually do that in practice, they are handing a fucking lawsuit to everybody who was affected, and they wouldn't do nothing that stupid, even if they are racist.
So are you in agreement with? Have you called ICE on any immigrant, Carla?
100%.
Okay, and what were your incentives to do so?
Well, for not to mention the money that they offer you, anybody fucking would. Like they wouldn't do it to me.
Great sellout. Go ahead.
Hell yeah. So that's the number one incentive. But even if it wasn't for that, it's the shit that I hear on here. It's the shit that I hear,
So
and I'm
so
tired of
you're
it.
motivated, but what you hear on
I'm not
TikTok,
going to
and
no
that's
other
why you
country.
report ICE on people.
This is my only home, and I want to be. It's bad enough that I have to deal with racist whites and others, but goddamn, I don't need to invite people who ain't got no business being here, who don't have to be here, right? But because they want to be loud and ignorant, yeah, get going. That's one less headache. Absolutely.
Carla, listen to me. What did that person do to you for you to call ICE on them? And what was the situation like that you had to call ICE on someone?
You're talking about people who are doing illegal stuff. I don't.
No, Carla, they're already illegal just by being here. This is why it's so
Exactly, and they
dangerous, Carla.
shouldn't be.
Carla, this is what I'm talking about, the dehumanization language. Like once you claim someone to be deemed illegal, then being just here, their paperwork
Vibes.
is
You're not
gone.
gonna get no sympathy out of me when y'all call
The
us
dreamers,
slaves
the
and shit.
dreamers that had a process, that's gone. They're called illegal when they were doing everything right. These people are getting caught up in the court system.
But you're saying this to somebody that you
making their
dehumanize
process
every
legality,
day.
while they're making themselves legal, they're coming in them and taking them and
You're
and
not
catching
getting
them.
it.
No,
You're
well,
not getting
Carla,
it.
I'll
You
never
talk
get it,
shit
Carla.
about
I'll
people.
never get it, Carla. But are you telling me you
I know
called
you won't
ICE on
because you
someone on
see
TikTok or
us.
someone in
You
reality,
see,
Carla?
you see
Who,
us
who
as less than you. That's why.
I don't.
That's
I
why
don't.
you don't
No,
see
I am
anything
black. I'm
wrong with
black myself,
dehumanizing
Carla. I'm
us.
black myself. So how the fuck am I going to see you
Yeah,
less
but
than?
you're not our black. You pointed out the fact that
That's
you're
fine, and
parenting.
I'm totally fair with that. I'm not an
Okay,
FBA.
so
That's
then we are
correct.
different. That's
Yes,
what
of
I mean by
course,
that's what I
Carla.
mean
I
by
know that.
us.
I know that, Carla. But you're still willing to call ICE on people a different black than you, and that's what's so troubling and disheartening.
It
But
shouldn't
Carla,
be it shouldn't be troubling, not the way you talk about us.
did you call ICE on someone on TikTok or someone in real life?
Both.
Okay, and did you get your reward money? Did you actually
Of course
follow
I got my
through with it?
reward money.
And how much was the reward money, if you don't mind me asking?
It was just a little over $1,000, not a whole lot.
Okay, and so they only give you the money if they capture the person and deport them?
I don't know what happens once they capture them. I mean, they do what they want to do. They're going to do what they're supposed to do with them. Like, we're not responsible for the deportation process. But
You're okay, but
our job is to help make the call to ICE. You make
so
the
these
call
are
to ICE.
citizens. This is what a good citizen would do at this time.
That's what a good citizen would do?
Yeah, is that what a good citizen?
No,
that's
a good citizen make sure that the mechanisms for their criminal justice systems are operating properly by paying them.
How are you able to verify if they were legal or not, Carla?
Well, for one, I would never see him again. I would never see him around the places that I saw them, and I would never hear him on the app anymore.
No. How can you? Oh no. How can you verify they're illegal?
Dude, I wouldn't. I put my money in my pocket and I kept moving. I wouldn't fucking know.
Okay, thank you. At least you're honest about that. So again, you're just So this is what's so problematic about it. Innocent people are getting snatched up. Just because of the color of their skin or just because they speak Spanish. And this is why I'm making this parallel, Carla. This is why I'm making this parallel.
It depends. Y'all want to be rude and disrespectful to the people who are native in their own country? Imagine they come in, us Black Americans going to your
Mexicans
homeland,
are native to this region, Carla.
Then
this
they
was
wouldn't be
Mexico
called the
before it was
Mexicans.
America or the 13 colonies.
Then they wouldn't be illegal. They wouldn't. This is
The
not
white tea people
1765.
white tea people deemed them illegal as they deemed you a slave. What's the difference?
Nobody deemed me a slave. That's the dehumanizing language I'm talking about.
No,
it is
they did in
2020 fucking
history,
6.
Carla. In history, I'm talking in history now.
I don't
Relax.
live in history. I don't live in history, and I was never a slave. And when you call me one like that, you dehumanize me, and you don't get
You
it.
would call ICE on me if I was illegal right now, just because I said that. But you're not listening to my context. You're taking offense. You're taking offense to everything.
That's a compliment?
I never called you a slave.
You did.
Calm down,
You did.
Carla.
You just sat here and said
this is why you're so emotional, Carla.
You said they called you a slave. White people called you a slave.
In history, they called you a slave.
I am not. Nobody's ever called me a slave.
Anyone that went to jail is
no
a
white
slave.
tea ever called me a slave.
Someone that went to jail to this day is a slave, Carla. Do you have a problem
Nobody.
with that?
I never went to jail.
No, Oh my God! You see, I'm not talking about you, Carla.
Then why do you
Fucking
keep saying
slaves.
you? Why do you keep
Stop it,
saying you then?
Smiley.
I don't know. All I heard was slaves. Who was slave in here?
Carla, you got to get your emotions out of this. I don't want you calling
Do this
ICE
all
on
the time. They do
anybody
this all
that's
the
going to
time.
say something.
They talk about our present as though our ancestors didn't work hard. That's so they can say we never won. That's so they can say they still enslaved. They don't. They will
White
not
people
say
are
that the
constantly
past is still
saying
the
this,
fucking
okay?
past.
I don't know why you focus on Mexicans. White people, this is what they stand on,
I didn't say
okay?
shit about Mexicans. I didn't say the word Mexican. What are you talking
Illegals.
about?
These
Hey,
are 40%
can
of
I
the
ask
people
for a
you're
recap?
calling illegals, Carla. All
Well,
right,
they're
Smiley.
not
Can I
all.
ask for a recap?
40% is not 100. That means everybody. 40% is not 100.
Introduce yourself, Smiley, and then you can chime in.
Good day, madam. I am Smiley Face, and I am here today. How are you? Oh, did that sound disingenuous? That's fucked up. My bad. Hey, my name is Drake. Yeah, I'm just tapping in. It's my guy. I get on his lives from time to time. I'm very nonpartisan, so I'll take your side if you're right, or even if it's shit just sound really good, and I'll peep it at the time. So, yeah, but I would like to know if we got a little recap.
We're just talking about the prompt, Smiley. We're also talking about how Carla has called ICE on some illegals that she deemed illegal. She couldn't verify if they're illegal or not, but she called them. She got paid, and she happy. She kept pushing. She said,
Okay.
So
is Carla black?
Carla is a FBA.
Does Carla consider her? Okay.
I'm gonna let Carla
you got
speak
a
for herself,
Hispanic
Carla.
name.
I don't get that.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what immigrants and their children do. They can explain everybody's heritage. People they never even met before. I am Black American. I'm not an FBA. I don't even know what that is. I'm Black American.
I love to hear that, but I don't know if you're saying that in the sense that I like to hear it in. I think you're saying it more so in the FBA sense.
I will lose
but
sleep
I
over
don't
that
know.
tonight. I will lose sleep over that.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure I will lose sleep over that tonight.
Well, no, you're not meant to. You're not meant to. This is a discussion. I didn't show up here to argue with you. I showed up here to talk. You're able to,
I want to play something that I heard today, and what we say about Black Americans as an ethnicity, because this is a new one that I feel like closeted FBAs or pretending to call themselves Black American, and it has this very nationalistic approach. And we all knew what a Black American was. It was just a Black person in America. You could have been naturalized here and had immigrant parents and be from the Black diaspora and be a Black American. You could have been born here with immigrant parents, first generation, second generation, and be a Black American. So I do want to play this real quick.
You became one because you was around.
Obama, Kenyan.
American. First of all,
I'm sorry, who?
Black American doesn't even mean anything. Black people are black people because of the historical propaganda behind white versus black. White was supposed to be everything pure and clean and better, white supremacy, etc., so on and so forth. And black was supposed to be everything dirty and bad and historical propaganda. But you are not black. We turned black into black love, black excellence, black power, black liberation. We turned it into a term of endearment just like we did with the N-word. But you're not black. You're an African in America. The crazy part about it is a lot of you Black Americans, a lot of you FBAs, ADOS, whatever the hell else you are, a lot of you look at being African the same way racist Europeans look at blackness. We view Africans as dirty, bad, oh, they all hate us. No matter how much facts disprove that. You know why there's such a big push for global division of black people, of melanated people, of African Americans? Is because that's what benefits the white supremacists the most: confusion and division. My only question to y'all is, why the fuck do y'all keep supporting this shit? Do we not all know that white supremacist, that European reject, that cave dweller has sellouts of all colors, races, and nationalities? So if you know that, anything that helps that white supremacist go in the other fucking direction, why do y'all treat this shit
Like it's a fucking calculus equation. At this point, just set the whole motherfucking world on fire, dog. Like, y'all on this damn social media shit have got to be some of the stupidest motherfuckers I done ever had the curse of ever interacting with in my motherfucking life. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. FBAs, whoever else, everything you doing puts a smile on the face of a fucking European Klan member. And to all the African Americans, to all the people that aren't with the FBA bullshit, why the fuck do you allow them to sit up here and do this dumbass, divisive ass bullshit? Press every European reject and all of his or her allies. Stop allowing this shit. Black American.
That's what I'm saying. And we give you a chance to let us be on an FBA panel. You already know what happened, and you wonder why people push back and are so angry. I've seen them talk to elders, talk to kids in a ruthless way, and make them feel like they ain't nothing. If you're not American, you ain't shit. Okay, and I just don't see the difference. I'm gonna land on that,
Brody. So, Brody, when you saying let us talk on an FBA panel, I've been there on multiple of them with you. Now, what I don't see the difference in between an FBA panel and what that man was saying is you can't say, oh, these dirty black Africans, that's how they looked at us. And then say, oh, that's how we look at them. And then, okay, so now we looking at them this way, right? But the FBAs are looking at the rest of the melanated America the same way. And so they're looking at, on both sides of the pond. And most of these people don't even know who the fuck they are. You got FBAs talking about, oh, I'm a fucking foundational black American. The whole time they talking about, oh, my Cherokee heritage. What are you talking about? So now you over here being a pretendian, denying your African lineage, and saying that white people are enemy, while most of what you're doing is deconstructive to the black community. I can't tell you how many times I had somebody say some dumb shit that was like, we should all come together over this. Together over what? Something that doesn't involve you? Something that don't involve me? Or something that only involves you? And we should all come together in solidarity, just in love and peace, in solidarity around you, or something that involves you. But then, when I say, okay, cool, now let's move over here, come together around me. Y'all like, I don't know about that one, player. What you mean? And what the fuck? Why the time changed? Because just 5 minutes ago, we was over here holding you above water. Now I just gotta drown? What are we talking about? That's it.
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely understand the confusion, and this is why. But again, all that they have in common, the Black American, the pretendian, and the FBA, is to hate on immigrants. That's the only thing they have in common. That's the only thing that's holding them together and uniting and delineating. You know, but this delineation has no due date, and we're just gonna have to go through this. We're gonna have to see how long this lasts for. Okay, Dave, welcome to the panel. Introduce yourself with your racial ethnicity, where you're from, and then you can chime in.
Black American, California. Why do you keep showing
What's
this?
up, Dave?
Is there something wrong with your wrist? Are you okay?
I got to show a body
You're
part.
the only nigga I've ever heard say that.
I got to show.
I've ever heard say that.
I got to show a body part, or it restricts my lives, and I can't get people on here. So I got to show something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, he wants you to know you ain't talking to a white dude who's
Nah,
saying
I
all
don't
the
give a
crazy
fuck
shit.
if you think I'm white. I give a fuck. Nah, you really do have to do this, or they restrict your shit.
Bother me at all.
I don't want to show my face. I don't want you FBA to dox me.
I'm from California. I talk to white people every day. But yeah, I can barely see the prompt that you're doing your
Oh
hand
yeah,
like
my bad. I have to do it from time to time. Go ahead.
Let me see. From slave catcher
Oh shit, she did say that.
performance, same system, new. What does that say? Labels. This prompt is ridiculous. FBA is not an action. FBA is a heritage. So most FBA people are not calling ICE on immigrants or people they assume to be illegal aliens. That's why I say this is completely ridiculous. But in the meantime, or also, if you did want to call ICE on somebody, that would be your right as an American person. Anybody that is illegal, they are illegal, and it's called illegal for a reason because you have broken into somewhere and decided to start working and start living your life as an American person or as a United States citizen when you shouldn't be here. If I went anywhere in the world and I illegally immigrated to their country and I just started picking up, trying to apply for jobs and got employed somewhere illegally, I would be deported because it would be wrong for me to do that. Why is it that America is a free for all for anybody to hop a fence, get over here by hook and crook, jump a border, have a baby, then they become a citizen and you expect to become a citizen too? I don't think it's right.
I would like to say, Dave, I share a lot of your sentiments. You made very good points. Could you name me, and I'm talking specifically to you, Dave, could you name me any country on this planet that does not have immigration laws and does not house a border that it likes to maintain and make sure only people they approve of cross?
That would be almost every country that has.
No. I was saying, could you name me one that doesn't do that?
Well,
one that doesn't do that. Maintain a border. Maintain who crosses.
I believe.
Say I like this and I don't like that.
Every country does that.
Thank you. So now that we established that we're in common ground with that, where do you think this major divide comes from when it comes to America? Why is it that America is expected to just like open that ass? Like, what's going on with that?
Because America is a superpower, a world power. So people think that, there used to be a thing like bring your humble masses and all that kind of stuff back in the day.
Right.
But it's 2026.
Absolutely.
We need to get away from that. America is not in the position that it used to be to house everybody and to make everyone except American citizens great. I do know that there's a such thing as geopolitics, and America has its hand in a lot of people's countries. But I still do not think that should be a catalyst for people to come here illegally and start doing whatever they want to do. I honestly.
Well, now may I ask you?
Oh, go.
Go ahead and finish that. No. I want you to finish that before I ask this.
Yeah, I honestly.
I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I just don't want to interrupt you. Okay. I was going to say, when you quote geopolitics, right? Do you think that like geopolitics is us saying, "Hey, bring us your people, and we'll give you 20 bones"? Because when we engage with the rest of the world, like, I'm sorry, I know. Do y'all hear a reverb? No, it's like when we engage with the rest of the world, all right, go ahead, Brody.
No, go ahead, Smiley. Just so you don't hear an echo. I think somebody's mic was on.
Oh, that was you. All right, cool. So what I was saying was, majority of the funds that America spends every year are spent overseas. So when anyone wants to say, we don't have the money for this, we don't have the money, we 1,000,000% do. We 1,000,000,000,000% do. And I said trillion for a reason. We send trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars overseas every year to different African nations, to Europe and all their little fuck shit, to fucking West Asia. Like all over that shit. We have a lot of partnerships, like even like the International Space Program. How much of that is American money? How much of NATO is American money? When America threatened to step out of NATO in the last, month, they got terrified. Why? Because they don't have the funds to do shit. they actually spent their money on free healthcare and everything else because they knew America was spending their money on military and we were allowed to be the military. That's why America became the world police. So now if we were to withdraw from that, they would have to shift all their funds. Guess how much that would fuck up their country and their economic system for the next 30 years?
Was that specifically to me?
I mean, it was, but it wasn't. But it was in regards to what you had initially said. But like, I got like kind of deep into it. So
No,
I think,
exactly.
yeah, it wasn't
I
like,
know what I said was on the surface of geopolitics, but I get what you're saying too. But what I'm saying is, in 2026, I believe America first should be America first. You know what?
yes, I believe that
do
same
not.
thing.
Yeah, I do not think that we should be the police of the world. I don't think that we should be involved in everybody's country. I don't think that American men and women should be unaliving in other people's countries. I fundamentally believe in America first. If we withdraw our money and our funds and military from other countries and they fail, so be it. That's how I see it. This still doesn't. I still don't think it means that everybody from around the world should flood America, and especially as a black person, because it seems like a lot of these people, when they come over here, they come into our communities and disrespect us. If they were going and
Yeah.
bothering white people, and if they were flooding white neighborhoods, that would be one thing. But everybody who jumps the border, they come into a black neighborhood and tear it the fuck down. And it's not like, black neighborhoods are in the best situation possible. But just think, you're
Well, no,
out.
they go into a black neighborhood and they get better housing rates because they're on the system, because they're coming in through a separate system than you're allowed to be a part of.
Exactly.
And now they're paying $86 a month for a house that you pay $1,400 a month, or that you pay $975 for a month.
And just think,
And y'all got the same risks.
and just think when that black person, something happens, they lose their job and they can no longer pay their tax, their home or their land taxes or whatever the fuck. The next person who is
Property
going to move
taxes,
into
yeah.
that house, be a property tax. The next person who moves into that house is probably 100% going to be a Latino person, and they probably won't even have to fucking pay land taxes. So it's going to be so, and they're going to cut the taxes in halves and in thirds, and it's just like, where was that at for that black person? So I think the whole thing is just a neo-colonization on the black community, to be honest, especially when it comes to
Well, I would say if you're talking about that,
the Latino immigrants, especially in our
I-
neighborhoods. and
I would say
communities.
if you're going to
Yeah,
go
I do
from
want to let
paying something,
RMV.
okay, my bad.
Smiley, I want you to land your plane really quick, and then I do want to invite RMV in here, but I want to play something before RMV speaks. But hurry up and land your plane, Smiley, and let me play this, and then I'll introduce RM.
I got you, buddy. All right, so Dave, when you look at that situation, right? If you were to say, okay, this black family bought this home, they got to XYZ, now it's been foreclosed. What would happen is it would go to auction, and when you go to auction, most times you only have to pay the property tax on the thing. That way the government gets paid for that. Now the government's paid for that. The bank hands it over to you. You get a whole little different financial situation, but like now that's your home. Like you own that now. So I think that's slightly different than like, okay, these people came and they're on Section 8 and they're paying $85 a month. They're paying $450, whatever, and you're paying $1,300 to live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, that's not the scenario I proposed. You actually
All
said.
right. I know this is going to go back and forth, Dave. I already said what I said. I'm going to let RMV just talk. I'll play the video
What
after.
you're talking about is subsidized housing from HUD, United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. Gives subsidized housing.
RMV, can you introduce yourself first?
Yes, sure. I'm RMV. I'm Black American. I'm monoracially Black. My family on paternal and maternal does not come from an immigrant background, and I'm in the state of New Jersey. So about this ICE thing. First of all, I mean, I support ICE 100%. Actually, I support all law enforcement in the United States of America, local law enforcement, good policing. I think every community has a right to public safety. And our federal law enforcement agencies are ICE. You know, ICE is a federal law enforcement, and you have our local police. They're at different tasks, right? ICE is under, I believe, the United States Department of Homeland Security. And ironically enough, the commissioner of ICE, I think that's what they call him, he is Latino. He's Puerto Rican, Paul Perez. And it's very interesting that Paul Perez. Yeah, right, Smiley. Right, I'm correct, right? Is that correct, right?
Yep,
So
that and they're under federal government. Yes, they are.
yeah, exactly. So when you talk about federal law enforcement, you know, who's gonna challenge federal law enforcement? I mean, FBI, federal law enforcement, the United States Department of Justice. You know, I mean, are we kidding? They are there to make sure to protect our Constitution, to protect our what they call it, to protect our country from domestic terrorism and everything else. I mean, and a lot of the terrorist activity have come from immigrants. So, you know, hey, I used to work in a World Trade Center, so I know. Okay, those threats didn't just happen on 9/11, right? We had to evacuate at least once a month because somebody was threatening the World Trade Center. So, or any of the buildings in Lower Manhattan and, you know, Empire State Building, all of those buildings. So, and even outside of New York. So immigrants, you know, they're problematic. We do have domestic TERR as well, but, you know, federal law enforcement have certain roles, right? And versus local. So I support them. And I think you said it, Smiley. If you're breaking the law, you're breaking the law. Illegal means illegal. So
100%.
You know, ain't nothing. There's no. It is what it is. Because Black Americans, right? Law enforcement is not easy on us in our own country, right? So I'll be damned if I'm going to watch. Sure. If an American is going to be held accountable for breaking the laws of our country, I don't give a damn about.
I don't know why you support then all law enforcement. Because they are, like you said, not easy on Black Americans.
No, that's not even my point, right? That's not even my point. You take me out of context. My point is, you're bad actors in every race and population, right?
Yes. All populations, the innocent ones.
No. I didn't say. I said good. What did I say? I said good. I love good policing. Okay. Most cops, most local police are good, right? Are good cops.
I would like to say, RM.
No, let me finish.
Is there anyone who believes in bad policing? I think everyone, when they look at policing, they believe in the good.
I believe Black people are talking to this. Like y'all are not conscious of the relationship.
No, because these are individuals with brain cells that we can rub together. We can rub these brain cells together. We got a couple extra.
No. Let me just clarify about Black Americans are the most patriotic people in the United States. We are the most patriotic Americans. That's what immigrants.
That was crazy. That I don't agree with. That I don't agree with.
That's why we keep getting fucked over. Maybe that's why we keep getting fucked in the ass.
We're not. No, that's not why we're getting fucked over.
Wait. I think you got something real slick you about to pull, and I think I'm gonna love it. Go ahead, girl.
That's not why we're getting fucked over, right? So I just want to be clear. Black Americans, you know, a lot of Black Americans served in local police. A lot of Black Americans were police chiefs, right? In my community, we had a
Black American kid that killed that Black kid from Atlanta.
Oh my God!
They beat the crap out of him, right?
I said there are bad Black Americans. There are bad people in every race. What are we talking about here?
I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, there are bad. That's fundamentally right. There are bad people. Let's agree. There are bad people in every race, right? And granted, yes, our United States of America is built on race, right? So, but given that, it doesn't negate the fact that you do not want to live in a community without public safety, without policing. You don't want to live in a community without it, under any circumstance.
But you agree, our system is broken.
Bravo, you are correct.
Is broken.
Bravo.
I understand that, man. I understand that. All systems all around the world are imperfect when it comes to policing people of color. Even that's why a lot of you immigrants run from those countries, because the police and law enforcement in those countries are egregious. In the United States, there's a
Say it
distinct
again.
difference between policing,
Say
local
it again.
policing, and the military. The military, ICE is not military,
Yes.
right? ICE is law enforcement.
Absolutely.
In other countries, they got the military rolling up on you. The United States
hmm
the military can't come in my town. Only the police can come in my town. You understand?
The only
See,
version of the military that's allowed to activate within the United States of America on these sovereign grounds is the National Guard, and that is dictated by state to state by the governor of said state, and they are given their powers at that time by the governor.
exactly.
The active military is not allowed to. The CIA is not allowed to. None of these entities are allowed to activate within the bounds of the United States of America.
And
No,
local
I'm
government.
gonna
and that's
I'm
all
gonna
50
inter-
states.
I'm gonna interject real quick, okay? Because you guys always, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about the people, Americans in general. I'm American too, right? We always come to think about, we never follow the money.
Are you a
You know?
naturalized American
So
or are
this
you
is
born
this
American?
is this is an example of this is an
He's paying for
example.
immigrants.
This is, I'm an anchor baby, okay? I'm a
Okay.
tether. We already know
Oh, so
this.
you got to make it clear. No, I didn't call you. I just want to make it clear. See, this is then that's problematic what you just did. I just want to say.
Nah. I know where this is gonna
Wait,
go. So, anyways, let me be
part?
clear. Let me be
You're
clear
not
Go
about
ahead.
this.
Go ahead, bro.
170 billion that we're gonna spend on ICE. Okay, this agency.
What's
Okay, that's more.
CPB?
That's more than some countries' military spending. This agency. Okay, guys. So just to show you. And this is again where the siphoning happens of money, because they're building infrastructures for detention centers that are worth a bunch of fucking money too. But that's a crazy markup, and I'll show you the
Can I just get a little context to that?
detention
Wait,
centers
now,
here. The
now
detention
why
centers
now
here.
why
You
are
see
you
how much they're
Vibe?
spending on them and what the markups up, and who's profiting off
Vibe,
of
what
these
is
detention
the
centers. Okay.
Vibe? What are we shooting for? Because those don't even look like detention centers.
These are detention centers. You can look. The names are up there.
They don't even look at them.
It looks like a
They-
Costco.
No, I'm saying it was an AI generated.
They look
but the
like fucking Target.
Well, a lot of these places are like warehouses. A lot of these places
That's
that
what
we're
I'm saying. They
spending
look like
millions of dollars for are simply like makeshift fucking warehouses. You're right. But the question here is who's profiting off of this? Who has stocks in this?
Can I
shit?
just say something really
No, you
fast?
can't, Dave. I'm
people
sorry.
on
I
this
let you
side
guys
and
talk.
overseas for sure.
Let me talk. Hold on.
Absolutely.
And so
Yeah.
when
Let me
we're
mute
talking
myself.
about all that too, I had this other one right here. Let me see. When we're talking about these, why is the goal deportation? Why are we building infrastructure? Why are we making these able working bodies work in these detention centers? Because that's what we're having now, just like we have in the in the incarcerations. We're supposedly 15% of the population, but 40% of Black Americans are incarcerated. You guys love to talk about the 14th Amendment and redefining it, but forgot about the 13th Amendment that abolished slavery, but had an exception. If you do a crime, you can be re-enslaved again. And so I do want to play a video for you guys. That's what I think what the detentions are going to be, to tell you the truth. I don't
Can I
think
say
most of
something
them are going
about
to
your
get deported.
definition of
And hold on, no, hold on. I have one more side. I have to educate, because you guys all have one clear thing here. And so when we're talking about how this 75 billion is going to work out this year, a lot of it's going again to these larger than entire U.S. federal prison systems, these detention centers. 90% held in private prisons, even though private prisons are a big industry in here. The deportation flights alone, all right, $4,500
Most prisons in
per
America
person.
are private.
That's 5,000. That's
I'm
five
so-
times more than a first class ticket. So every deportation costs taxpayer money. Is it worth it? So Carla might get $1,000 for reporting ICE on someone, and then the taxpayer still has to pay that $4,500 to get him.
Wait,
Carla's
may I
not
ask you, what's
reporting
what's the
Hold on, hold
primary?
on, hold on.
What's
I
the
ain't done. I
primary?
ain't done.
Wait,
I ain't done.
can I ask you a
I ain't
question?
done.
Is that
I ain't done. I ain't done. I
okay?
ain't done, Smiley. Hold
All
on,
right,
hold on.
all right. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I want to play this one for Carla and for Dave as well.
A quick question. For the members of the black congregation who think that black people can't be racist because racism is a systemic structure and all this other shit, when racism is its own definition, and then you have different tiers of racism, which includes systemic racism. But the base definition of racism has nothing to do with system. But is calling ICE on people you deem immigrants, is that not participating in systemic racism? Like, I don't know how white people call it on black people. And y'all calling
Yeah, answer that question. I want to hear.
calling ICE. They're like, we see the videos everywhere.
So
I
at the end
literally
of the
just got
night,
you seeing a video.
FBS are stealing in their own pocket.
It's like every day I see a video of somebody from the black community talking shit to somebody who they deem is an illegal immigrant, right? And they're usually Spanish speaking. That's racism, and are brown. So racism, right? And then you bring the system into it by threatening with ICE, right? Or actually calling ICE, right? So you would then be participating in system
It's bad recording, sir. We can't
from
even hear. What's
systemic
the point?
racism. But if systemic racism is what is oppressing you, how are you capable of protecting it?
What? I can't even hear it.
Yeah, it did go out
You're
now.
talking about like a nation that has been built from constantly
That's
expanding its borders, often illegally, and stealing land from people, and using enslaved labor, prison labor. So we have to understand it as a human trafficking operation, and I do think that the Fugitive Slave Act, and just that whole dynamic is so is just like the clearest historical parallel, because just like then you might be a free black person walking somewhere, but you get snatched, right? Like they used to put up posters telling folks like every person of color, be cautious, because the government has deputized people to come through and kidnap people for a price. And that's literally what ICE is doing. They get paid. They have quotas, and they get paid for rounding people up and disappearing people. So there's a financial component behind it, and people often try to frame it as like a matter of the law and criminality. It's not. It's not. Now that's not to say that there's no valid conversation to be had around that, but that's not what this is at all. This is about trafficking people into a system where private corporations make money off of them being held in bondage. And as long as that exists, none of us is safe, and I think we have to understand that about like the history as well. This idea that because we are a citizen, or I have a birth certificate, or I have a passport, all of that stuff is not going to protect us from the presence of this police state apparatus. And that's why we have to like actively dismantle it. Because sometimes when people say, well, I'm good, we're not. And I think what we have seen just in these first 3 months of the year is that nobody is safe. Nobody's safe. Sorry.
There you go. I wanted to play that.
Bullocks. So I just want to say this. First of all, when Black America has always had why did somebody mute me? Why was I muted?
Go ahead. I didn't mute you. Go ahead.
So Black America, as around the world knows, that the United States, we always had an adversarial relationship with the police, local police, right? Our local police departments, right? But let's not merge the two issues here. This issue that's going on with immigrants and ICE with federal law enforcement around immigration policy. That's not Black America's fight at all. So don't try to say, oh, well, since you guys been having issues, but no one helped us with, no one was allied with us when we have had issues with our local police departments, right? And we continue to fight that battle, right? We still have issues in our local community around police brutality, right? Civil rights violations, constitutional violations from internal affairs in police departments, right? Road cops, we have that. So that's why Barack Obama came out with the 21st century police strategy. But that has nothing. 21st century police strategy and community policing around and Black communities have nothing to do with what ICE is doing. And we do. And in Black America, we cannot make the mistake in merging that fight that we have been progressively chipping away at, where the immigrants had nothing to do with it.
It's definitely, you know what it is. It's a fear mongering technique.
No.
that I see a lot of
Hold on, Dave.
immigrants
So the Black Americans that have been unalived by ICE, they don't matter. The people that have been
Nobody said
detained,
that.
they don't matter.
That's not what I said
And
at
you
all.
guys are gonna be couch potatoes for those lives as well. So
No,
again,
yeah,
you're
we
gonna
are.
separate
Show me
yourself.
the numbers.
You're
Show me
gonna
the numbers.
separate. It's three
How
so
many-
far.
how
All
many
right,
Black
but you wouldn't know.
Americans?
You wouldn't know because you're not paying
Well, you don't
attention.
know because you're just fear
You're not,
mongering.
you wouldn't know because you're not paying attention. So
I
just
am.
to show you, turn a blind eye to shit
I
that
don't-
still
you're right. I
matters.
don't-
You say it doesn't matter, but it fucking matters.
Why whenever we
Well, it
whenever we
matters
start
to you. It
speaking, you
matters to
become
me.
Well,
upset.
yeah, it matters to me. Yeah, that Black
You're not
Americans
gonna
are
make
getting
me.
unalived
You're not
by
going to change
ICE.
my position.
That are being detained by ICE. It
You're not going
matters.
to change my position on it.
Black
It doesn't.
Americans are not being deported by
Yes.
ICE,
Well,
sir.
no, we
That's
have
a lie.
the stats. We have it
Well,
on
work
paper.
on it. Well, we'll benefit from that then. Whatever
You'll benefit from Black people being unalived from ICE. That's
benefit
great.
from
That's
you
great. That's a great.
fixing it.
That's a
You
very
fix it.
honorable statement. That's a very
Detained
honorable
is not the
statement.
same thing as deported. No Black Americans have been.
That's right.
No, I
sir.
never said deported. I never said, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
We're not
But
helping
either
you.
way, I gotta introduce my new guy. He's a
Stop
mod
making
here.
stuff
He's
up.
probably the
Stop
one muting
making
you
stuff
guys.
up.
Cuddy Dad. Why are you always switching up your name, Cuddy Dad? Welcome to the panel. Go ahead and introduce yourself and respond to anything you want to. You're the mod. You got this.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, give me
for
5 seconds before I come
having
back.
me over.
Don't kick me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you for having me, host. Yeah, I was following what these guys were, talking about. This Dave and this other lady. She sounded like a YT woman. That got me really pissed off, and I had to mute her for a second. But anyways, so I mean, and trust me, like I'm gonna speak about this, right? I'm not trying to sound xenophobic or anything like that. If I do, I apologize. So basically, what happens is that these people, and I'm glad that they're not part of this fight. You know what I mean? Because if they were a part of this fight and part of this, people protesting, you would have seen a lot of chaos. You would have seen stealing, looting. I mean, everything. You know what I mean? The fact that they're not involved, these protests are so peaceful, like really, really peaceful. And I pray and I hope that they don't actually try and join, because they're gonna, end up stealing people's property and breaking stuff up.
See,
These
Blake,
things has been happening.
this is where it comes from.
I haven't landed yet. You guys keep interrupting.
Please don't get triggered. This is a third world dweller.
Yeah, so the fact that they're not
Nothing you
out
said
there,
matters.
not too long ago, I saw some FBA kids in Detroit breaking people's property, and I'm like, thanks God they're not joining these peaceful protests, because they're gonna ruin it. You know what I mean? And the fact that you guys know that you're not, can't shoot it really. Like, you guys should stay at home and just watch what's happening. And the immigrants, they got themselves. They're gonna look out for each other. I don't think they need you guys. Okay.
You're the immigrant. You haven't probably been to one protest.
You're gonna find out. You cannot call yourself an immigrant and be Black in America and say you got yourself. You're going to find out that this is not that type of country. And that's what a lot of Africans and immigrants, maybe your parents and grandparents, had to find out the hard way, that this is a race-based country. Nobody gives a fuck about your ethnicity except you. That's what the FBAs are saying. They're not saying they hate you. They're saying they love their
The
ethnicity.
FBAs are
And I
saying
tell you,
white tea people.
and
The
let me finish
FBAs are
because I
saying,
didn't
Sister
cut you
Carla.
off.
No, I know,
And
but come on, don't be disingenuous
I
because you're
don't,
saying that
don't do
immigrants
that. Just let me
the
finish. I
immigrants
was
are with white tea.
mid-sentence.
You're saying the immigrants are with white tea people, that they work with them, that they work against Black Americans. That's what you
I
guys
didn't hear
say.
nothing you said. That's the thing. I
That's not
tune
true,
out.
sir. Not
Whenever people cut me
only
off,
white
I
tea
tune
people
out.
work in the government. The government is a shared thing by
Anyway,
everybody in the country, sir.
All right,
So
Carla, go ahead. I
there are
interrupted you. I
black
just
I
had to
can't
correct you.
remember. You cut me off. Fuck it.
There are black people who work for the government. There are white people who work for the government. There are Latino people who work for the
Carla,
government.
Dave, hold on.
One thing,
Carla, you were saying, Carla, hold on,
That's
hold
why
on.
I like to
I want to
support your
help. I
panel.
want to help Carla. I want to help Carla regain her
You can
memory.
help me by not doing that shit, and you know it was rude. And then when I wouldn't stop talking, you just hit the mute button. You know
I'm
that shit
not
was
hitting the
rude.
mute. I'm
And
not
then you
hitting the
asked
mute.
people to tap the live. No, you did.
I didn't ask people to tap that live. What are you talking? I never asked people to. I don't never
For
beg.
support.
Never
I'm sorry.
beg for
You asked
likes
people
or
to share.
supports. Never ask people to do shit on my
You
live.
asked
Stop
people to
lying on
share
me,
the
Carla.
live.
Nope,
That
I
I've
never
heard.
even asked people to share my shit. I'm not begging nobody for shit. You're on here because you want to be here. So again, you guys are getting too emotional right now about this conversation. But you guys been talking shit
I've never
on
once
immigrants
heard
on
this
TikTok for a
man
very long
ask
time.
for anyone
I've
to
never
tap
been
his live
emotional at all.
But I don't
or
see you
like
guys
his
on those
live
FBA
or
channels protecting them.
Vibe, we're not
I just
talking
want to say
shit
that.
about immigrants. We're talking about illegal immigrants, right?
They're-
Please
No,
make this a
no,
difference.
no. They didn't just become illegal in the snap of a finger because of an executive order from Donald Trump that said they were
That's
illegal.
not,
Okay, and then you
no,
guys
that's
jumped on
not
the
true.
No, they're
bandwagon.
illegal when they cross the border,
Border
sir.
illegal.
Don't play that,
No,
sir.
no,
Yes, they
no,
are.
no. They're
You
not.
violated the law. You became a criminal the
So
moment
what?
you did
Nope,
that.
nope. I
Vibe,
disagree
what
with you,
is the
Smiley. I'm
definition of an
sorry.
illegal immigrant? What's the
If
definition of an
if I
illegal
break the speed
immigrant?
limit, I'm a criminal, right?
Let Vibe tell us what the
If
definition of an illegal immigrant.
You can still
absolutely,
seek
I can say I may
asylum.
not
When
be
you come
listening
in this
for a
country,
couple
you can
minutes.
still seek asylum. There was a process, okay?
Wait,
Now,
asylum is different.
if people
Asylum is
didn't go
different.
through that process,
Asylum is different.
and
Point of entry.
well, that's what I'm saying. You can still
Everybody.
hold on now. You can still seek asylum, okay? And so there is a process to that, even if you come here illegally. A lot of people, not just Mexicans, come here through the border. Again, this was a place where there was a process, a due process. Even illegals have human rights, have civil rights, whether you fucking like it or not. You are trying to dehumanize them to the point where they
That's our
can
country,
not
though.
go through due process and they can just ship out of here. This is how people disappear. This is how you never hear from them again. And so if there's no record of them, then how the fuck are we supposed to track people? Again, this is human trafficking at its finest. But
Vibes,
you
I
guys
have a
don't see
question
that.
for
You
you,
guys see
Vibe.
like the country's doing what the country should have been done a long time ago. You're first on the list. It's first white tea people, then you guys are next, right? And then every other immigrant. That's how you see the hierarchy, okay? That's not my
Vibes,
fault,
I
but that's how you
have
see
a
the world.
question
That's
for you.
never happening in my lifetime, so it's never happening. Be quiet.
Right. Okay. My question for you, Vibes, is: do you think people would have so much sympathy, or there would be so many illegal, undocumented immigrants here, if Mexico was a country full of melanated Black people instead of Latino people?
There are Latinos that are black. There are Hispanics that are black. There are Mexicans that are black.
that there
Dave.
would be
That
do you think that there
ignorance
would be
that you carry, that you don't think there's black people
sir,
in Mexico,
let's
right?
be real,
If
sir. The
Mexico had the
Mexican
one
people,
drop rule, Dave, they everybody would have been considered
But they
Mexican. Like you
don't
guys
though.
consider
But
biracial
they don't
people,
though. But they don't.
triracials, Melungeons, Creoles. Y'all see them as your people, right? So
Right,
you know
man.
the Spanish
You're
had
I
a
need
more
you to be honest
integrated. The
with
Spanish
yourself.
had a more integrating concept, right? They mixed with the African people here. At some time, there were more Africans and Spanish people on Mexican territory.
Then
They
why don't
mixed
they
in with
stay
the
there?
indigenous people. Right?
Stay
So
in Mexico,
there
man.
there is a black presence in Mexico. You guys just don't consider them your type of black,
No,
right,
they're
Carla?
not.
They're
Exactly.
in a
So
different country.
hold
They
on,
speak a different language.
hold on now. So
You're
again,
being
You don't want nobody
disingenuous,
interrupting
Vibe.
him.
no, I'm not disingenuous. So again, repeat your question, Dave. Go ahead, let Dave speak. Repeat it again. Now that I told you that. Now that you're informed.
Honestly, not. It's honestly not even a question. It's rhetorical, in the sense that we already know if there was a black country that was on the border, like how Mexico is, there would not be how many ever 20 million, 50 million undocumented black people in America. The only reason why they, excuse me.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let him talk. Kidding.
Can you please tell the dude to stop?
No,
muting?
he's my mod. He's my mod. Go ahead, Dave.
And to this very moment, I have not said one thing that was xenophobic. I want that to be noted.
Dave, go ahead.
But okay, the thing is, if Mexico was a black country, like how black people in America are kind of black, they would not let them flood this country 20 to 50 million people. The only reason why that is done is because these people are not black and they are closer to white tea. There are some Mexican people that have blonde hair and blue eyes. The only reason why, if you put a Mexican person up against a black person, people feel sorry for Mexican people because they see them as only they're hard workers. They're here to work. They're here for their families. That is not the same sentiment that people have with black American people. And even Mexican people who come here, they're able to thrive under the racist, supremacist, political front that America is because of the way people see them as down and out and here for a better life. People don't see black people that way. And they were able to come here and destroy and usurp black communities.
Black people are thriving in America, Dave. I don't know that sentiment. Again, you're perceiving what other people's perceptions are of the black Americans in America.
No, I know.
Mexico is not a black country, just like America is not a black country. Okay. America has neighboring treaties and ties to Mexico because they have NAFTA. They have trading agreements. They've been doing resources back and forth. I don't hear you guys talk shit about Canada. I don't hear you guys talking shit about deporting Canadians. And
Canadians aren't flooding.
Hold on. I'm not done. You guys got to stop interrupting me. Like, I don't know what you think. You just come up here and just speak over me or talk over me. Just please don't do that. I let you guys talk as freely as you want, but when I get something out, I'm like Carla, I kind of forget what I want to talk about. But you can't do shit about those agreements that this government has with the neighboring government, Mexico. Instead of seeing them like neighbors, like this government does, yes, you have the president that does his little. He even has ties to the narco traffickers. Donald Trump does, hooking up with the Sinaloa gangs to get rid of other people, bombing people over there, and getting approval by the government. So there's already a smug trade that Americans ask for that smug, and Mexico always delivers. Okay. And then on top of that, what I wanted to say, brother, you can't do anything about those treaties that are already helping both countries, okay? Because there is already trading. Black Americans are not involved in that. And that's what pisses you off. They need cheap labor. They need cheap labor. You're economically capped. You're not going to go back to the fields to work. These people are going back to do all the work, all the jobs that average Americans don't want to do. And on top of that, they take advantage of that cheap labor. This is why you guys want to make them illegal, so you don't have to pay them shit. So that you can pay them under the table, so you can take advantage of vulnerable people now, not back then, now. So again, I know black people are economically capped. They're not going to go back to the fields that like Donald Trump expected you guys to go back to. The inner city people to go back and work on the fields. That's what he wanted. Again, that's not true, sir. This is human trafficking for America. This is all true. You just don't want to accept it. You want to just paint them all as bad people. But they're our neighbors. They were willing to come. Thousands of years of migration coming back and forth from Mexico to California before the borders were even up there. So fucking argue with that. You can't argue with that shit.
We don't care.
I know you guys don't care, but you care enough to come on my panel and tell me your xenophobic talking points. That's what you care about. And I give a fuck about how you feel.
Person at all.
I give a fuck about how you feel about black immigrants.
I just love my own country. That's all. What I care about Mexico?
I really don't care how Because you don't have any care about your own people. So why the
What do
fuck
you
would I care
mean?
about
What do
your
you
grievances
mean?
against immigrants when you give
What
a
do you
fuck about
mean?
Africans
Everybody in
and
my
black
family served
immigrants?
the United States military.
Those are
My
my
There
ancestors
are.
people.
fought for this country. What do you mean?
Okay. All right. Here.
The
I'm gonna
best
give you
thing
the
about
facts because
Mexico
Your
is its
you were
ancestors don't
proximity
come
to
saying
the
from my
United
country. That's
you were
States.
why.
saying a lot of disingenuous things already, RMV. And
Really,
so here,
like what?
let me
Like
give you the
what?
facts. Let me give you the facts. Let me
You
give you the
haven't said
facts.
one fact up here. You're emotional. Go back.
All right.
If you're so resentful about the
All
United
right.
States, why
I'm
are you still
emotional.
here?
So again, no, immigrants are not a bigger
Get
crime
out of my
threat
country and
than
stop playing
domestic
with us.
terrorism. That's what you claimed. You claimed that immigrants were
Okay,
a
so what did
bigger
I
threat than
say? What did I
domestic
say that was
terrorism,
disingenuous?
RMV, in the U.S. That's hella
I didn't
disingenuous.
say that.
Yes, you did. I heard you.
Well,
I'll
they
clip it
are.
right back.
Isn't that what
I'll clip it
happened?
right back.
Who was
Immigrants, including undocumented
immigrants? Many of
including
them are.
undocumented ones, are less likely to commit
Why do
crimes
you
than
think
U.S.
Homeland
born
Security? We're
citizens.
not talking about crime. We're not talking about crime.
They are incarcerated at lower rates than native-born Americans. Areas with higher immigration
Stop
often
with
show
the
equal
bullet
or lower
points, man.
crime rates.
Stop with the
Okay.
bullet points. Stop with the
Um,
bullet point speak.
let's see. I'll keep going, right? Because this is the claim you made earlier, and it's so disingenuous, you know. But anyways,
I worked in a
we'll
World
go
Trade
back to
Center,
the
so
open
nothing's
panel. I just had to
disingenuous
get that
about
out.
what.
I just had to get that out.
Yeah, yeah, you're disingenuous.
I actually live in California. I see it firsthand. I am boots on the ground Californian. Where I live at
Border Patrol. Your Border Patrol, Dave.
doesn't even look like California anymore because of all of the immigrants and all of the
California never
Mexicans.
looked like California. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm
When did you
saying
know
right
California
now,
to be a
the
black
part
state, a black American
the part
state?
of California,
When was that, Dave? When was the
the
when was the
part of
USA
California,
black USA of California? When was that?
the part of California that I live at now, you won't even recognize it because of all the illegals and Mexicans that have moved in. And when they move in, they push black people out. As soon as a Mexican person gets any sort of authority, if they become a supervisor at a job, you know you're not going to get a damn job because all they're going to do is hire other Mexican people. These people are not a part of the American dream. They only care about other Mexican people. They do whatever they can to push black people out of any space that they're in. I know it sounds ludicrous, but me living in California, I've seen it firsthand.
It's ludicrous. It's
They're
clearly
not our
ludicrous.
allies. They're not
They're
allies
not
of
at
Black
all.
America.
No, yeah, because
They've never been allies of Black
you guys
America.
Now, may
complain
I
that you
speak?
can't get a job. You can't get a job because a business, right, that hires their own, and that's where you want to work. You want to work where you have to
No,
speak Spanish.
there are Fortune
Build your own
500
country.
companies.
Go back.
There
Build your own
are
So what
country
I'm
like
gonna do
Black
is I'm gonna
America
speak real
did.
quick, right?
companies that have hired Mexican
Y'all
people,
tripping.
and they're acting
I
like
heard
it's
a
a
couple
mom and
things.
point. They
Smiley,
Mexican
you're a
people
mod
treat
too, Smiley.
Mexican people treat McDonald's like it's a
Right.
mom and pop
Appreciate you.
organization. They'll any job that they
Listen,
get.
if you want to be a mom and pop, right? You can be a mom and pop that is not an American born folk, right? You can be somebody who is American born. I don't like to say Tugger babies or Anchor babies or whatever. I mean, just you come, you first generation, second generation, whatever, right? When you want to set your thing in stone, if you first generation, you don't have to pay tax for 10 years. Versus an American trying to start the same business, you start behind the 8 ball if you are doing the same thing somebody who is coming in is doing. Also, when you look at how people who, one, are American, look at these lower people. Mind you, they look at everyone as lower people. These impoverished people. They have these issues. We don't have these issues. They don't look at why they don't have the issues. They just say, I notice these certain characteristics, but I don't see the things that cause you to say, you know what, fuck it, I give up. So that happens in all communities, right? Where you say, you know what, fuck it, I give up. If I'm being relinquished to this space, I'm gonna make the best of this space. So I don't agree with people who sell drugs and do this, and that, right? I also understand why when somebody says, you know what, the world is killing me and I need money, and this is how I can get money today. And you just go off and get it. Now, when it comes down to like the violence aspect of it, that's too deep in for me, because that's not just you saying, hey, I need some money today. That's you like living a life. I don't like that shit. But
I don't agree with Mexicans
when
firebombing
you
black people houses either to get them out of their own neighborhoods.
I do. All right, so I don't know too much about that, but I do think the Mexican community, and now I say Mexican community specifically just because that was the predominant community at one point. It has changed since like the 80s. So yes, the Hispanic community moving northward. I don't agree with them replacing black people, because that is a trend that did happen. It was, oh, these are our enemy, and now these are our enemy, but we can use our other enemy to undercut our primary enemy, and we can level everyone to the ground.
They are very complicit when it comes to white supremacy. They get a pass.
Yeah, Mexicans in California, they're the buffer class in California.
They definitely are.
They're the buffer class. That's what they are. And then when
But
we don't,
you
the
have to
United
be
States don't
you
need them
have to
anymore,
be
they're
a
going to get rid
certain
of
type
them.
of Mexican
I told
to
you.
Goodbye. Go
You
back
were
to
the
your
main
people.
class, RMV. You're right below the white
That's
man,
right.
right?
That's right.
You
That's
little
right.
pet. Gotcha.
That's right. Black Americans, we're all Americans at the end of the day.
America
First
first,
of all, if you're an
always.
American,
That's right. Hell yeah.
and that's what it should be. If you're an American, I don't care if you're a Black
They're over here
American
banging American.
or an Italian American or a Chilean American, as long as you're not a Somali American, because that you got too many chromosomes. I don't like that.
Why are your mods, it's only a few people up here. Why isn't it the
I was
conversation
kidding.
interactive? Why are your mods muting people?
It's
They
just
can't
what
take
they
the
do, you
truth.
know. They try to respect
Wait.
the host here, and I can't speak over everybody.
But
You
isn't
guys
it open
always
panel? Is it open panel? If not, give us 2 minutes.
Well, no,
okay.
it was open
Learn
panel.
how to mod.
What was? Wait, what happened
God.
that you didn't
I was
like?
giving
Was it
Smiley a
something I
chance
just
to
said?
respond. He never got a chance to respond. Don't
Give
worry
us
about them. They
Showtime
always
then.
complain. You
I have
give
no
them
problem with
space to
Showtime.
talk, and they still complain. They have to take the
Well,
whole floor, a red carpet appearance. You're not going to get the hospitality here like you expected to have it, and speak over immigrants or the black diaspora. Okay, every
Thank
time
you.
you
Who's
can't
an
I'm
do it.
talking
immigrant?
You can do
about
that
an
on the
open
FBA
panel. I'm
panel.
just talking
You
about
can do that
I
on the
mean,
parliamentary.
FBA
I'm
panel.
just talking about rules of
well, no,
parliament, parliamentary debate. We're just, why? If it's not
well,
open
no,
panel,
I
say
wanted
it's
to
not
know.
open panel.
No, I'm sorry. We were all participating as an open panel.
That's
I
what I
don't
thought.
know what you. Right. So you're.
Somebody muted me. That's why, and I was on mute the whole time.
Oh. Well, listen. I had myself on mute the whole time. I was barely listening. I had to take my nephew to go do something real quick, but I am back home now. So,
I think that's Mr. Weinbottle up
so
there.
but I was asking. I wasn't sure if like something I had said in that moment had triggered you to say what you said. Because if so, I would ask you to explain. Because I love when someone explains. I don't know you. You don't know me. But if you explain to me, I at least get some type of insight into who you are as a person.
I
It'll
love
never be
Sage.
complete, but
I love Sage. Sage, you're funny, the guy in the chat. That's right. No, if your family was not here before, if your family was not in antebellum South, then you need to stop calling yourself American. You better
That
put
is
your.
a
I'm
great.
sorry.
Them
You
white
better
people
put
are gonna
your.
That
come
was
after you,
stupid.
RMV,
You
because that's what
better.
you're telling
No.
white
Let
people.
me explain. Can I just explain?
You're telling
So
everyone, bro.
if you're not Black American, you need to say that you're
Wait,
Nigerian American, you're Jamaican American, whatever country you came from, you need to prefix that. You can't go around saying
RMV,
you're American when your lineage is when your parents are of another nation. You can't do that because you
RMV,
erase
can I ask you?
my nation, my national. Go ahead, sure.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I mean, I did it on purpose, but I don't mean to. I just want to understand what that that term was you used.
What?
I don't know what it means.
What?
Antebellum
The
South.
prefix?
RMV. I'm sorry. What was it?
What I said, a prefix. You got to,
No, not a prefix.
preface.
You
You got to
said
preface.
something. You
I
said
think I
you're
know
not
what it
one of
was. I
these
think she
people
said the
from
antebellum
before this
South.
time.
Antebellum South.
Yes.
If you antebellum,
Yes. I don't.
antebellum South.
I
Pre-Civil
don't
War.
understand what that means.
Oh, antebellum South. That's pre-Civil War. That's a pre-Civil War. Antebellum South. When there was no, the
Okay.
states weren't even formed yet. The United States wasn't even formed yet. That's antebellum South.
So this is
You never
where
heard of
the
antebellum
FBA
South?
should.
You
The
never heard
term
of antebellum
itself.
South?
I believe in my area it was called something different. What
No.
is?
Antebellum
But
South
that's what
is
part of what I was asking. What is antebellum South? Like, what is antebellum? What is the bellum? What is?
Antebellum just before that. That's the South before the Civil War. Before the slaves were. That's what the Confederacy. That's when the South was of its own separate unions. That's when the South was its own state, so to speak, right?
So the bellum would have been Fat
Antebellum
Union.
before the Union Army. They had their own army. There's their own country. The South before the Union was formed, right, between the North and the South, right? The two.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's, and if you weren't in this, most black people were in the South. I mean, we were enslaved population, right? So if your family, if those are the black Americans that we're talking about that are reparations. Those people, we're Americans. Immigrants don't have that background.
You
Immigrants are
changed
not.
that a little bit for me. Hold on, before
Oh
you
my
continue.
God, are you not listening?
I'm sorry, because no, you changed it a little bit for me. So
Melly, do you have 80?
you went from saying, I think so, but that's not what we're getting into right now. No, I was gonna say, because you were saying one thing, right? It's these people who are from the South, right? Prior to a certain thing happening.
Prior to the Civil War, what do you mean? You know, the Confederate Army, the Union Army, right? Those were two separate countries, right? It wasn't a whole country. The South had their own flag. The North had their own flag. There wasn't always the United States. There weren't always the only 12 states, right? Do you know?
Well,
our flag,
partially correct, yes.
The 12, you know, the 13 stripes on the flag stand for, right? Those are
the 13
original
colonies and the 50
it's the
states. I
original
know what the
states,
stars and
right,
bars are.
Right, they're the original states.
Mhm.
My parents, one of my South Carolina is one of those stripes. New Jersey is one of those stripes, right? So I'm just saying to you,
So is Pennsylvania.
that's right.
Keystone.
So if you find black people if you're from a state that was from one of those stripes on the United States flag, then you are an American, black American. Immigrants don't have that background. They can't claim that lineage. Are you freaking kidding me? They don't even know what I'm talking about. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Immigrants to what day? So you're saying until the Civil War. So anything after the Civil War, they're you know what?
No.
You know what? Now that I'm slowing it down,
No. Listen to
they
me.
can't.
Good.
They
This is the
can't
last
be
time I'm gonna
Americans,
explain
because
it.
I believe you when you say they can't be FBAs.
Okay, again, I'm
To a
not talking
degree.
about
To a
I'm not
degree.
even talking about FBA. I don't care about that terminology, right? That's recent current. I'm telling you.
I love that.
So
I love that.
Donald Trump right now in the United
Mhm.
States Supreme Court, there's bloodline citizenship being argued, right? That's what's being
Yes.
argued on the Supreme Court right now as we speak, right? Bloodline citizenship.
And I think he's correct in that.
Every country. That's what I'm talking about is bloodline citizenship. Immigrants don't have that. So I do, because my people were here before this country was even established.
There goes that heritage American talk.
Okay.
So
as long as you're not saying you're an American native, I am with you. If you're saying you're American native,
I don't give it.
that changes it.
No. What I'm giving you a time. I don't
This
care what.
bloodline, though, it still kind of throws me
Let me
off.
just tell you this.
Because you're not a part of it.
No. Smiley.
You guys act like the Blue Vein Society with your bloodline, the 13 royal families.
No,
and shit.
this woman makes a lot of sense as long as she's not talking that way.
No.
I know what she's talking about as long as she's not pointing at that.
No. I don't care.
I know what you're saying then. I know what you're saying then. I'm with you.
No, you don't know what I'm saying. Please don't cut me off. Please don't do
Oh
that.
well, shit.
So what I'm
Well,
telling you
I
is,
apologize.
I'm not here. I don't care what those individuals call themselves. Whether they call them Indians, I don't care what they. If their family was here during that time period, if your family was here during the time period, you are an American, right? So rather you call yourself Salon, I don't care what you call yourself. If you were in those lands before this country was formed, you are an American, right? Period. And that so if you're an immigrant and your family were not here, you're not bloodline United States. You,
No, I like what you're saying to a degree.
you don't have to like what I'm saying. I'm not here for you to like. I don't know you.
No.
I'm just speaking facts.
Oh my God!
So
Calm down for just a moment,
if
madam.
you're if you're why you put yourself on mute?
You know what? You're right. I
You
got
can
you.
have the microphone and you
You
can
know
talk.
you're right.
I can finish.
No,
Let me just
you're
finish.
you're
Let me
right.
just
You're
finish.
right. I just wanted to have it.
No, sir, please. So what I'm saying to you is, and this is, if you read the legislation that the Supreme Court is arguing, if your parents are native or have a different nationality, if your two parents are Jamaican, if your two parents are Brazilian, and they have come here to have a child, their children been here for two centuries, two decades, whatever, who knows. If your parents are of a nationality of another nation, you are of your parents' nationality, right? Simple as that. That's what bloodline citizenship is. All countries have bloodline citizens. It's only the United. Jamaica is bloodline citizenship. Why did somebody mute me again?
It's the guy above you.
Sorry, I just got here. I.
So if your parents if your parents' nationality, and many of these people they know who they are. Their parents' nationality is of another nation. Their child is of that nationality. That's what bloodline citizenship says. So my parents' nationality is of this nation, America. So I'm an American. If your parents' nationality is Jamaican, Nigerian, then you are a Nigerian American. You can't say that you're American. I can, because my bloodline is here.
Probably talking about Crips and bloodline, and I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, the bloodline throws me off too. But we got your point, RMB.
But every other country, but your own country,
RMV, you have another 40 seconds.
Okay, go
so
ahead.
we got to prioritize you at least for that.
But see, the ironic thing is, the funny thing is, Mexico is bloodline citizenship. I can't come and say I'm Mexican. Jamaica is bloodline citizenship. So why is it that every other
is
country
that true?
Yeah, it is true. Every other country has bloodline citizenship except for the United States.
Because people think the United States is a free for all.
Well, that's why it's going to change.
Hold on, Dave. I didn't. Want you to know I didn't mute nobody. RMV, I like your perspective. I like that you are on your own island in this moment, and that allows you to disrupt this echo chamber. I don't like it when we have an echo chamber and everybody's repeating the same ideas and doing whatnot. So when you're saying that Mexico and I believe you said Jamaica are bloodline, so you're saying you have to have parents who have the blood of the land, or not necessarily the blood of the land, but citizenship, for you to have citizenship if you are born here. Am I wrong, or is that?
Bloodline means that you are of that whatever nation your parents are from. Before you migrate, if you're look, Africans send their children here all the time. Chinese send their children here. Everybody send their children come to college or whatever, right? You had the DACA kids. Remember the DACA kids that Barack gave a window to get their documents together, and after that they had to go back, right? So,
are you just talking like that's?
No.
Wait.
Parents,
let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. No. That's a side thing. That's a side thing.
No, it's not a side.
That's a side thing.
Bloodline means their parents are not of this country. They may have been born
right.
here, but their
I didn't want to get
parents
into the other
weren't born
thing.
here.
It just means you can't become an anchor baby. You can't just go to Jamaica and have a baby.
Citizenship
your kid is a
by
Jamaican
descent
citizen.
is what the legal.
That's not the same thing.
So that's exactly the same thing. We're all on board with what that's the meaning, and That's what we're talking about.
Birthright means that you have a baby, you're a U.S. citizen. No more.
Exactly.
That's gone
No.
away.
Yes,
You
and
just can't
I
go,
agree with that
like,
fully.
I can't go have a baby in Jamaica and then become a Jamaican. No, that's not the way it works.
Exactly.
I think
Now I would like
you know
to go ahead. Go ahead, Chuki.
yeah, I just
Cookie.
wanna I just wanna say this, man. And again, I don't want to sound xenophobic. But if I do, I apologize. I just think that Mexicans in California, they just need to hurry up and just wipe these people out of there, because at the end of the day, Mexico used to be, California
What do
used to
you
be
mean
Mexico.
wipe the people out of there? Why don't you go back to your
Because
country
you
and
guys
get
are
wiped
passport
out?
bros in Mexico, dude.
There's probably
I mean,
genocide happening
in
right now in the
California.
country where you're from, stupid. What are you talking about?
You,
Wiping
you
people
guys
out?
are passport bros in
Mm.
California.
You sound
Hold on.
crazy.
Slow it down.
Lost
Slow it
the
down. Slow it
war.
down. Slow it down. Slow it down.
You
Slow
already
it down.
lost the war.
Slow it
So
down.
another
Slow
war.
it down.
These immigrants are nuts.
Chuki, David, if you want to address Cookie, address him. But I think we should let y'all have the conversation. But I think also have the conversation in an intelligible way, because I don't know what the fuck neither one of y'all saying.
Okay,
And
so
RMV
let me
getting
start now.
it like
Then. Hold
me.
on. Okay,
Like
Smiley.
once we all
Let me
jump
start
in,
now.
it don't
Then.
mean nothing.
Okay, let me
Let me
start
jump
now.
out.
So the thing is, you see a lot of these people come from these third world countries and try to tell Black America what they should be, how they should act like, and what side they should be on. When we first came up, I didn't say anything xenophobic, but you see this wine glass character has a lot to say, which is weird, because I bet you whatever their country they're from, they had to escape it because somebody was probably getting genocided, somebody was probably getting unalived at a rapid pace. But you want to focus on people looting in America for Black Lives Matters. Maybe if you guys from where you're from had just a little bit of that fight, you wouldn't have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you be xenophobic on this panel, dude.
You wouldn't have had to do whatever
cutting
you
him
had
off.
to do
He cutting him
to
off
come
because he don't like
to
what he's saying.
America.
Wait. Let all right, Cookie.
Can I finish my
You was
statement?
right. You was right on the cusp.
What's crazy is you
Cookie,
said
let him
xenophobic
finish his
things
statement,
towards
but you get
Black
to
American
correct him
people.
afterwards.
You had
For sure.
xenophobic feelings towards Black American people, but as soon as I say a little bit of anything, I have to get muted. That's pretty weird.
He muted him. That's what y'all doing up here.
Hey, can I say
It's
something when he's
weird.
done?
It's
These are my
complete.
mods. He can do anything. Okay.
It's a complete tether panel.
Wait. I understand the outrage. Let them two. They doing it right now. They doing it right now. It's getting fixed. They doing it right now.
Exactly. So the thing is, and that's right now is why we have to delineate from these people, because as soon as he came up here, he went towards looting and violence. When you are from a continent of people being murdered on a daily basis, a woman isn't even safe in some of these African countries. A woman isn't even allowed to walk around with her own body parts without them getting cut off, her private parts. But you want to talk about Black America? Some shame
Yeah,
on
he
you,
talked
sir.
about protesting, Dave, and now you're taking it to the most
He
heinous
said
of
looting.
crimes. So
He said
again,
looting.
you guys aren't fair in your digs, okay? So don't
He
be
wasn't fair in the things
offended
that
when someone talks about
And
he'd rather black people stay in
guys
house
peep
than
your
than
hood
do
in
it.
the hood.
But
man.
again,
What are you talking
again,
about?
we're gonna get away from
Mexico
this.
should
We're
go
gonna
to
we're
war
gonna
with
move on to
California.
Drake, and then
Pimping
we
your
got
own women
808,
in those
a
hoods. Come
newcomer
on,
coming
man.
back.
Let's
Okay.
not go there, bro. Why you gotta be
I'd
So,
rather
xenophobic? Why
live in
don't
the
you?
hood
Why,
without
why
my
can't
they're
you?
private
hurt.
parts.
They're
So
hurt.
He
why?
literally said that
Why can't you?
the country of Mexico
Wait a
should go.
second. Why can't you
You
put
probably
your
held
point
your
across
sister
without
down while
not
she got her
being
privates cut off.
Look it. You see what I'm saying? I gotta drop you for
why
that.
can't
See, you guys
you?
always
Why
taking
would
the
you
extra
drop
mile.
him for that? See,
So
that's
why
what I'm saying.
can't you?
He said
Okay.
he said he's
offensive
gonna
too.
I want to say
probably
one
take his
thing before
sister.
we
Now he
move
got
Act
forward.
like that
personal.
shit.
I want to say
He
one
got
thing before we
personal.
move
He
forward.
got personal now.
I want to say
Yeah. Why
I want
can't
to say
you
one
put your
thing before we
point
move
across
forward.
without not being
I
xenophobic?
appreciate.
Why do you have to call us looters and
Well,
rioters and shit?
He did not call you
okay.
a looter or a writer.
I want to say one thing before we move forward. This is one of my favorite live spaces to be in for the specific reason of you are allowed to speak and the host will allow you to speak. You do not need to be right half the time. You're going to be allowed to say your thing. You might get chewed up in the panel, but You'll be allowed to voice your thoughts, your opinions. Now, don't be egregious, but you're allowed to have a thought. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be corrected. You're allowed to learn. You're allowed to be in this space that is constructive. It's not a masculine thing. It's not this horrible thing that is feminist or whatever you want to point it as. It's not left. It's not right. It's just a place to be. And you have a very understanding person at the helm. And then he puts random people that have different, like literally me and Kookie, never met this man before in my life, but we have different views. But I guarantee you we have similar
Does
views
Jamaica
in certain
have
aspects.
birthright citizenship or bloodline citizenship?
Again,
sorry.
there is no
Were you asking me
bloodline
or
on
you
the
asking
on the
for?
14th Amendment. It doesn't say anything about bloodline, RMV. Okay, and it is just a descent. I just looked it up. The bloodline thing, it comes back to being of the country's descent.
I
Wait,
understand that,
hold on. Let
but
me see. Let me see what it said.
I'm
Let me
saying
see.
the 14th Amendment is being amended. That's what the Supreme Court is arguing now. Rather, it
So it's
should be
called. It's
amended.
Latin. So it's the legal term is just sanguinis. It's a Latin for right of blood, which is also interpreted as right of descent. Okay. But I'm just saying the legal language wasn't there. So let me move on.
somebody
RMV, I
said,
have to get to the new
"Oh my
people.
God,
Okay.
you guys are like children. Like, how
We
old are
let
you?"
you talk for a whole 2 minutes, RMV.
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead. Oh my
Drake,
God.
go ahead. Welcome to the panel. Introduce yourself, and then we're going to go to 808. Carla, I know we'll be right back to you. Oh, 808 dropped. 808, sister, come back. Draco, go ahead. Introduce yourself with your race, your
Yeah,
ethnicity, where you're from, and then if you want to speak on the program.
I'm Draco. I'm from Cali, and I think it was Cookie said that Mexicans should be wiped out from the United States. I think that's a pretty weird thing to say, for one, but for two, I mean, Mexican people in the United States actually, and I'm Mexican myself, they actually do a lot for this country, bro. They practically built this country.
Oh no,
They
bro. Let me
built all the
point of correction.
houses.
Point of correction, bro. I meant the FPS, not the Mexicans. I meant the FBI. Yeah. It said California used to be Mexico at the end of the day. So
Right. I just don't see the division. Like I don't understand why everything is so divided. My people are getting picked on and targeted, and I think it's unfair and unjust. And I don't really see why, because my people are actually pretty fucking cool. So
How old are you, Draco?
21.
Okay, I got you. Well, stick around, brother. I know something will probably come up that you can speak on. Again, Black Americans would say to that position, they would say, well, we've been dealing with this for 200 or 300, 500 years. Just because it's happening to you right now, don't expect us to help because you guys never helped us.
Oh, can I say something real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I heard somebody talk about the Mexican-American War and how we lost it. We actually gained our independence in 1821 when we kicked the Spaniards out from, well, what is Mexico today, which back then was New Spain. And, we actually have gone through similar things. My people, indigenous Mexicans, were slaves. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. For 300 years, working on plantations called haciendas.
They say it constantly.
Wait, I would like to ask, are you speaking of in the what would be considered now American continent, or are you speaking within the lower half, Mexico, Central America? Which part are you
What do you
speaking
mean?
of?
The two American continents, South America and North America. There's no single American continent. Never.
Okay. I was asking. I asked it deliberately. Are you talking about the portion of America, right, that we look at now
I'm talking
as
about what is Mexico
America,
today.
or okay, what is Mexico today? So you're not talking about like the parts that were like, when we had the war, like the Alamo and all that good stuff.
No, I know that the United
So it's
States
not
used
that.
to be Mexico.
Right.
Part
So
of
that's
it.
what I was asking. Was it that, or is it something different? I just want to understand where you were talking
Back
from.
in the day, it used to be called New Spain under the Spanish ruling. So yeah, that was basically
Right. That's why it's called Spanish today, because it's from the Spaniards from Europe. Yeah.
the colonizers.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what I wanted to come up and talk about, is that when people say that
Hold on, Dave.
Mexico
Hold on,
was a
Dave.
part of,
Dave. Hold on, Dave. I have Global before you. Just wait your turn. And I just want to make this fair because everybody's back up here. And again, don't take things personal. If he's talking about he even a wine guy said, I know this might sound xenophobic, but I'm just gonna say it, you know. But he didn't want to be xenophobic before he
Yeah,
said
but he
about
said it. It
you
was
guys can,
xenophobic
because
as hell.
I said you guys were okay. I said you guys were couch potatoes, and you guys are not gonna come out and help or anything like that, right? So he said, yeah, I'd rather not see them be a part of it because this X, Y, and Z might happen. We can't say that black people don't, just like any other demographic, don't get involved with rioting and looting. Okay, so if it sounded like he was targeting your group, he was just throwing a dig at you and your people. Because I mean, that's what the narrative and the social and the media always, the lowest common denominator that do
Why does
that
he
kind
have
of
to
thing.
come in
But
here and do
obviously,
it?
we know that
He's not
everybody
the
gets
media.
involved. Everybody gets involved in that, and but again, you don't have to
Sounds like
take
you're
it
making
personal.
excuses
stop
for him,
Dave
dude.
infantilizing
doesn't have to say that
African
Sounds
people,
like you're making
please.
excuses.
Dave didn't have to say that his sister got raped and all this other. So you see how you guys just take
What
it to
the?
the
He
next step.
didn't have to say what he said. That
Carla, relax. Okay, I'm gonna let Global speak on this, and
Dude, you are so
I can't co-sign what everybody says, and don't put it on me, okay?
so then
Okay, Carla, relax, please.
Sir,
Carla,
sir, may
Carla,
I
relax.
ask
equal for
one
everybody.
question prior to
Carla,
moving
relax.
forward? Carla, are you black?
Carla is black. She's FBA.
So the reason that Carla is reacting in this way
fucking
is
FBA,
what?
and please don't speak for me. I'm a grown fucking woman. Don't speak for me.
Okay.
You are not in my head.
Okay.
You don't know what I think. You don't know the reasons for anything I do.
Okay. So I was putting forth a little group think thing. What does the group think Carla's reaction stems from? Now we don't have to go with that because I'm not the host, but
All right, can we not single a panelist out? That's
Is
not
Carla a think piece now on the panel?
We're
That's
not here to
crazy.
talk about.
Yeah, Smiley.
We're not here to talk
No,
about.
I mean
Again, we're gonna
all right,
just
that might
circle
be
back to
crazy,
Global.
No,
but
can we
the
just
thought
keep to the
pattern,
topic,
the
please?
thought
I'm
pattern
just
was
up here
it.
to
But
speak on
I
the
got
topic.
you. I got you. I got you.
Smiley. Let's go to Global. Global, can you introduce yourself? And then speak about the prompt, or you can respond to what anybody said so far. Go ahead.
Fistic, toxic, proud descendants of the scattered millions, born Jamaican, proud African descendant. Is that cool for introductory?
Yes, welcome to the panel, brother. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I overheard somebody talking about Jamaican citizenship, and it's just so easy. You could Google that, like, through descendancy, through naturalization, through 5 years, through having marriage. It's simple. I have hundreds of African American living in Jamaica right now with me. I was at the
your
festival.
government changed it in
Come on, could
1962.
you chill,
changed
bro?
it in
Could you
RV, come on.
chill?
Let's
Could
not
you
interrupt
chill?
him.
God
Let's
damn,
not
I've been up here
interrupt him. Let's
quiet
give
as
him his
fuck.
time.
What
I'll
y'all
come
get
back and
paid by
I'll
the
let you
COINTELPRO or something?
respond to it. Okay, go ahead, Global.
Bro, damn, and these are grown people, bro, in their 60s. No emotional control, bro.
No, just go, Jake.
Yeah. Suck your mother, pussy. That me I tell you. Suck your mother.
Oh shit.
Hey, come on. Dave, if you get off mute again, I'm gonna drop you, okay? You said you know how to control yourself.
I don't
Global,
take
go ahead.
disrespect, bro.
Try to ignore it. Try to ignore him. I'm doing my best.
And
Go
then you
ahead.
got people talking all reckless, bro.
Global, I got you. I got
Come
him
on,
muted.
bro. I'm not on that reckless shit, bro.
Me either. Global, can you just go ahead and finish?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I said what I said, bro. I said what I said. I said what I said. For you to get Jamaican citizenship, it comes through a couple of channels, just like majority of other nations. You can marry an individual from Jamaica. You could be a neutralized citizen after 5 years of living here, and you can get it through your descendancy. You know what I mean? But people on this American exceptionalist bullshit, you know what I mean, ready to isolate other nations and give them bad names. And these are grown people, bro. Come on, bro. It's a Google away. Are we working for the feds? Are we working for COINTELPRO? God damn,
Okay,
bro.
did you land, Global?
Yeah, I landed, bro.
Okay, thank you, Global. Now, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Can I just could I clarify?
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I got a video. I just want to simmer things down. I got this video.
Oh,
It's
who
about
you
the
got on
14th
tape,
Amendment.
bro?
Huh? No, hold on. It gives some
I was
context.
saying who you got on tape. But
Giving
it's different.
citizenship
All right.
to the children of slaves, the children of those subject to the Middle Passage, the children of sharecroppers, and the children of those who were once considered property, and giving citizenship to the children of people who crossed the border illegally, staying in air-funded luxury hotels. There's a big difference.
Black Americans are not going to be safer if Supreme Court uphold Trump executive order ending birthright citizenship. I understand a lot of you are listening to the rhetoric Republicans or conservatives are using under the guise of attacking birthright citizenship. But understand it is nothing but rhetoric, nothing but public relations.
Bro, you gotta slow down, bro.
The fact the 14th Amendment was created post-Civil War as a means of giving the former enslaved population citizenship. However,
Bro, it's unintelligible.
recognize it would not just only apply to the slaves and their descendants, it would apply to anyone born in the United
Wow.
States. Not only that, it's very important to understand the legal arguments these advocates for birthright citizenship are stating in their briefs that are going to the Supreme Court, where they are barely mentioning slaves, slavery, or Lincoln. For people that are saying, oh, 14th Amendment is only meant for, slaves and their descendants, the fact that they are barely mentioning slaves, slavery, or Lincoln is very clear that it's just nothing but rhetoric they're using, and that's not actually the legal arguments they're trying to base their claim on. It is very important to understand that any arguments used to target the children of undocumented people or quote people who are in the United States illegally or temporary visas can and will be used to target the descendants of slaves. Why, you may ask? Because sure, there was a legal slave trade happening, but there also was an illegal slave trade happening. So if you're saying because parents were in the United States illegally that their child should not receive birthright citizenship, well, then that applies to likely millions of Black Americans as well. As in, there are millions of Black Americans whose ancestors were brought to the United States illegally. In the United States illegally, which means the argument of attacking them applies to descendants of slaves. Not only that, another argument being used is that these parents don't have an allegiance to the United States, so therefore, their child should not receive birthright citizenship. Well, guess what? As slaves, you do not have an allegiance to the United States. Why? Because you're a slave. You're a slave. Not only that, another argument being used to target these children is that because their parents came to the United States illegally or temporary visas, they're not domiciled in the United States. Well, guess what? As a slave, neither are you, because you can be bought and sold at any point in time. Any argument used to target children of undocumented people or temporary visas can and will be used to target children of descendants of slaves.
Birthright citizenship oral arguments are done.
They're so obsessed with us. It's weird.
They keep talking about us like we're living in the 1600s. We are not those people.
They're mad because they got to get
Let's not be
deported.
too emotional.
They gotta
Let's
leave.
do it. No.
They got to leave. And birthright and bloodline citizen will be the law.
That
of
was
the
a
day.
Black American speaking right
We don't-
there.
He was
no,
not
she was
black.
not
She was
Black
Jamaican.
That wasn't a Mexican. That wasn't nothing.
She
That
is
was
She was a
Black.
Caribbean.
Black
You could tell.
American.
She had an
she's
accent.
not. No, she's not. See, this is how you're going to turn on your own. Just if they don't have your mentality, your
But why do you
anti-immigration
care?
rhetoric,
Vibes,
they're
don't
not
worry
going to be
about
Black
us. Worry
American.
about
That's
yourself.
crazy. That's
Worry
wild.
about your own. Why are you?
He was speaking
scared?
pidgins
It doesn't
English.
matter what he was. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying, the stuff that's come out of his mouth is just, it's ignorant.
Okay, I'm
He'll
gonna leave
switch
this to
from
Smiley.
people
I'm gonna leave this
to
to
the
Smiley
descendants.
and Coke. What's it called?
You haven't spoken for 2 hours, dude.
The
For
one
2 hours.
Cokey
You keep
Daddy.
skipping
I'm
right
gonna
over
leave it
it.
to Daddy
Coke.
and Smiley face.
Coke.
You guys are wild. Right
So
now.
let
You guys
me. So
are
let me
wild.
That was a
just
Freudian
Can
slip.
I just clarify? Okay, so Jamaica changed their immigration laws. Jamaica utilizes both birthright citizenship and bloodline. But prior to 1962, a citizen, that's when but prior to 1962, they were fully bloodline citizenship. They only changed it thereafter. So, but the United States was always birthright. So I'm just saying, so you're being, and most countries,
Because you're in
China
a settler
is
colonial.
bloodline. And the only reason why Jamaica changed it was because they want to align themselves with the United States. They want to be able. I don't give a shit about Jamaica. That's not my
I'm in
country.
Jamaica. What the fuck you talking about?
I don't
What
care
you talking
about.
about? I'm
I
in
don't care
Jamaica.
about your country.
I
I'm just
left
saying.
y'all. I left y'all
Well,
confused
you don't
ass.
know that your
What you
country
talking
was
about?
full bloodline citizenship. You just changed. You just
But
changed
you talking
recently in
about 62? Who the
1962.
fuck was talking about 1962? Fuck, you want to
Because
pick out some
because
argument to
grandfather
support your
clause
dumb.
is
You
called.
want to pick out some
Because,
argument to support your dumb
oh,
claim.
please be quiet. Anyway, you want
1962.
you only
Before
3 million of it anyway. We
1962.
don't
Calm
care about
down,
the
sir. You're
What
grandfather
you
speaking
talking
to a
about?
young
You
lady.
want to be American so bad. You
Wait,
want to be
In
Black
19,
no,
American
no,
so
what
let
were
bad.
him
you
go.
before
Quiet.
Let him go. I
1963?
think he met his match.
Oh my
I think she
God.
met her match.
What you
Bloodline
talking about?
citizenship is the law of the
Look,
dead
look.
in the
Let her
United
match. He's a
States.
grown
What?
man. What do you mean?
No. They're both grown people. I don't care about none of that. When she was speaking to two people before, or one person
Question
before,
about bloodline
I heard her
citizenship.
getting in
Fuck out
there,
of here, like you
right?
want to be American.
And the ferocity and the
Everybody.
intensity in the conversation was good. It
Wait,
was
wait,
like
All
everybody
the other
want to
person
be
go ahead handle
all
it.
women.
Now,
All
There's
Americans. You know how the
1.2
United
black
States
is
is a
that
Americans.
country
can
that
that man
everybody
make
1.2
wants to
million black
immigrate to.
Americans left since 2019.
That's
1.2
all.
million black
That's
Americans left America
that's
since
all. That's
2019.
all.
Look
That's
that
all.
shit up.
That's
Look
all.
that
That's
shit up.
all.
Okay,
That's
Fuck
all
you
you got in
talking
your
about?
country.
You're
How
the
many?
only
How many people
you're the
in the whole
only
island of
female
Jamaica?
raccoon
How
on
many
make
internet.
islands?
make
How
You're
an
the
many
only
people?
female
intelligible.
raccoon
Oh my
Hey,
God.
hey,
lap. You're a white man lapdog.
hey,
You're a
hey,
white man
hey,
lapdog every day.
hey.
A white
Make an
man lapdog. You're a part
intelligible
of a British
argument.
colony.
Make an intelligible argument.
He
That's
can't
the
even
only thing
access
I
his
ask.
beaches.
If you're gonna
They
talk
threw
back to somebody,
they're throwing
do not
Jamaicans off
start
their
getting
own beaches.
emotional.
The
Now,
British
I
came
don't
over
care
here
if you
and
get
bought
a
up all their
little
beach
in it,
front.
but
They can't even access their own
go ahead.
beaches. Be
Jamaicans
quiet.
don't own anything in Jamaica. The
That's
British own
right.
Shut the
everything.
fuck up.
Everything.
Shut
It's
the hell
true
up.
though.
The richest black man
Well,
in Jamaica is a fucking black man. The fuck you talking about?
No, he's not. No,
You
he's not.
just
You
said
don't
the
believe
Look
it.
up.
well, no,
richest
no, no,
black
no, no,
man in
no,
Jamaica
no,
is
no,
a
The
no,
black
no, no,
richest
man.
no,
man in
no, no.
Jamaica is a black
Thank
man.
you. Thank
Fuck you
you.
talking about?
Whoever just said that, thank you.
That's an
No.
oxymoron.
You just said the richest black man is a black man, obviously.
All
That's
right,
what he
all
said. He
right,
said the
all right,
richest
all
black man
right.
in
Give
Jamaica
his
Get
is
your
a
dick
black
name.
hard
man.
off of that.
Give
Get your
his
sausage
Chinese
off of.
name.
Get your
Give
sausage.
his
I
Chinese
need
name.
I
He's a
need y'all.
black man
Look,
called
He's
Chin.
not
Give
I need
his
Chinese.
y'all
He's
to
Chinese
have a
Indian.
name.
He's a
He's a
black
coolie
man
man.
called
He's
Michael
Indian.
Chin. His name
Stinky
is
poom
Michael
poom
Lee
gal.
Chin.
sir,
He's a
Stinky
black
poom
man.
poom gal.
Dumbass.
sir. All right.
Stinky
Like I
poom
said
poom.
before,
Wipe
I need y'all
yourself.
to have an intelligible. I need y'all to have an intelligible conversation. Talk to people with respect first and foremost. Because why the hell would you not? And who wants to sit here and continue this if you're not going to do that?
Well, the Jamaican man is recording.
Who wants to sit here and continue this? Oh, I can hear the reverb.
Jamaican man is recording. It's a
Yeah,
recording.
okay,
That
there it
wasn't
goes.
reverb. He's recording.
No, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. Once he went on mute, didn't hear it no more, right? But again, talk to people with respect. There's
If
no
I
reason
see
not
any
to.
highlight reel with my fucking face on it, my name on it, what I'm saying, you stupid Jake, it's gonna be bad.
You called him a stupid Jake. What is
Y'all
that? Is
better
that a
go
new
suck your
term?
mother, man.
Fucking
Record
jerk.
before.
He
How
can
dare
do
Suck your
you?
mother, pussy.
How
Oh, a
dare you be
jerk.
recording
You have
us on
a
this
straw pussy
panel?
stuck
Okay.
in your mother.
You
Use a
weirdo.
straw
Okay.
pussy stuck in your
Hey,
mother.
Suck your
you need to
mother.
drop global. He's
Matty
recording
boy.
the panel. You need to
Suck your
drop
I'm
it.
mother.
out of here.
Matty
He's
boy.
recording us. I'm done. I'm out.
Record your
No.
mother.
How did?
What the fuck you saying why I need to
No,
record you?
I don't.
You ain't saying a damn thing,
No.
pussy.
All
Yeah,
right.
Fuck you
let him
Yo,
saying
play
if
his
I
listen,
game.
record you. You a dumb fucking COINTELPRO.
Global,
Suck your mother.
global. Global. Stop.
Yeah.
You've already been.
What?
What you mean? What? I'm telling you.
You heard me?
Calm
What the fuck?
down.
Better
All
Michael
right,
suck
Chin
nigga,
your
is
slow
mother,
down.
come
Jamaican
on.
Chinese. Michael Chin is Jamaican Chinese, man. Get out of here.
So, Michael
Jake don't
Chin,
own
who the fuck
shit
is
in
that?
here. That he said that's the richest black man in
You
Jamaica.
Chinese because you got a Chinese last name.
Yeah, the Chinese came in there
Motherfucker, you got a white man last name, asshole. Are you a white man? You
I
got
am
a white
part
man
white.
last name, you
I am
dumb
part
fuck.
white.
I'm
Yes.
American. I'm
Fuck you.
American, man. I'm
All right,
American.
all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
I'm American, dude. I'm not European. That white team men, they're European Americans. I'm white. I'm Black American. What are you talking about?
They're not. They're white American.
Listen,
No,
I
you're right.
don't. That's the
European
first
American.
person I ever put down, and I don't put nobody down. But nobody's gonna sit up here and be loud, belligerent, and disrespectful. We are all grown adults. we participate in an intellectual space. Let's just do that. Sir, I'll invite you back up right now. Just don't be a dick about it. Why you ain't come up? It said connected. It says you joined. But go ahead, y'all. Keep on talking what y'all was talking about.
So all I was saying was that, most countries around the world have bloodline citizens, and yes, of recent years, they have changed the birthright, particularly the islands in the Caribbean, because they want to align with the United States. But now the United States are saying, "F that, we're going to bloodline," just like China, just like Singapore, just like a lot of the African nations. They're all Brazil, South America, they're all Mexico. They're all bloodline citizenship. It makes sense. How is it that?
I love you said it makes sense.
Yeah. How is it that? Look, that happened to my friend, a friend of mine. He lives in Ireland, right? His parents live in Ireland. His parents were traveling here in the United States, visiting in Texas, and they had him, right? And he's the only sibling in his sibling is a United States citizen, just because of what they call tourism pregnancies, a tourism birth, right? So so he was able to. His parents took him back to Ireland. Once he became 18, guess what his parents did? Sent him back to the United States. He went to college here. That's how I met him. And because he's an American citizen, he got full access to all American financial aid through the federal government, through the United States Department of Education, right? So that's the problem. That's why we can't continue with
I did the same too. I did the same exact thing.
So
I got my I got pretty much everything that what you said. That's exactly what I did.
No, what I'm saying
and I
is,
like
I
the
don't know.
fact that
I don't know. Did your parents have you here? Were you a tourism baby?
what do you mean tourism baby?
A tourism
Can you
baby.
explain?
Okay, so
What is that?
it's when the Chinese do it a lot. That's what Donald Trump is trying to stop, right? They have birthing centers here in the United States, the Chinese government. They send young mothers here to have their babies, and then once the mother have the baby, they get the birth certificate. They're a United States citizen. And then they take their kid back to China. They raise them in Chinese culture. And then when it's time for them to turn 18 to go to college, they put them in Harvard, Yale, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, so forth and so forth. Right?
Yeah, it's because they have a country. You cannot do that because you don't have a country. That's the difference. I mean, where you gonna go to China? Or where?
What do you mean China? China has universities. Why they got to come
What
here?
does it mean they don't have a country? Who don't have a country?
I would like a little understanding.
Oh no,
Can I
I'm talking
ask
about
for some understanding?
the Chinese baby,
tourism birthing? You mean you never heard
the
of
Chinese
tourism birthing?
tourism, the stuff that she was talking about. I just wanted to do a follow up on what you were saying. I couldn't. I wanted to get a better understanding. But
Me
so
as well.
I did pretty much, the same exact
Because it sounds
thing.
different
Yeah.
from initial. The initial thing you said sounds different.
Well, because you're
Oh,
dyslexic. You don't understand anything.
He
What
ain't making no
anybody says.
difference. He ain't making no
What? No.
sense.
No, all right. So initially, I heard you saying these people were having babies here, taking those babies after they were born. They established birthright. So essentially, they're owed a passport, a social security number. Now, before anything, now they're flown back to the country of origin of the parent. Now that they've gone back to the country of origin of the parent, they are raised in that culture. They come back, and then they succeed on an American document, right?
What do you mean American document? They're citizens. They were born here, birthright. They're U.S. citizens.
That's what I
too.
mean. That's what I mean on an American document. But
You don't understand.
if you were here for
Nobody's dyslexic
if
but
you were
me.
here, if you were here for 72 hours, if you were here for 3 weeks after birth, and you went back to your parents' country of origin,
That baby
So-
is an American citizen under current laws in the United States. Under the Constitution today, that baby is a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
The hospital will give them a
So
birth certificate that would says U.S. citizen on it. And then the Chinese people.
so the Chinese consulate will do what? So this is where you got me kind of stuck stuck up a little bit?
Well, you need to do some research, sir, because you don't know what birth tourism is.
Well, no, I do, but this is what I'm
didn't
saying.
come up here to educate you,
Because,
sir. I did not.
oh,
So
okay.
I came up here because I
I
thought you
appreciate
guys were
that.
in the okay.
I appreciate that
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
let's not interrupt
So
people.
what
And
I'm
we're
saying
gonna have
is,
to wait. Go ahead, bro.
RMV said somebody comes here, has a baby. That baby becomes a citizen. They take that citizen back to the homeland of the parent's country. Then later on, they send that baby who has the papers, the documents that I spoke of, which is what makes you a citizen, back to America. And then they succeed in these American colleges and schools and whatever, and they use that to put themselves in a place in America. Now, Kookie, you were saying something, and I don't remember exactly what that was, but I knew I needed to clarify, because if she was going to continue talking to you about what you were talking about, it was different, and I know she was changing what she was saying as she said it.
Man, you don't
So
even know
I'm
what you're
gonna pause
talking about.
myself.
You're all over the place. You don't even know what
Right,
the hell
right.
you're
Yeah,
talking about. You don't even know what I was going to say.
No, I know, I know. I mean, that's why if you remember, I told you that I did pretty much exactly the same thing that you said your friend did, and I'm part of those benefits that your friend's son apparently got benefited from, and I pretty much benefited the same thing into these colleges and scholarships and whatnot. But anyways, we got somebody else on the on the panel here. Global is back. Global, go ahead, man. Talk your stuff. Global, are you there? All right.
Yeah, give me a moment, bro. I'm on a call, bro. I'm on a call.
All right, sounds good, bro. Khaled,
Yeah.
Khaled, go ahead. Put your point across, please.
I don't want to be kicked or muted, so go ahead past me.
So, okay, so the bottom line with birth
Wait,
birth
I would like to say
tourism.
I will not kick you for your opinion as long as you're not being like the most ridiculous person on the planet. So I don't know about other mods and vibes. Go ahead and speak. I don't want you to have to skip yourself so you don't get kicked. Oh, okay then. Never mind.
So
Excuse me.
birth tourism is a very strategic approach that the Chinese have taken to ensure opportunity for their children in the future. It's a different approach than what we see with the poorer folks who are coming here, and they're doing it bottom up, right? They're doing it sort of grassroots. They don't have any money. The Chinese strategy of sending their kids, their elite class here to birth, and later on bring them back and making sure they're raised in their culture, and then send them to the United States to be further educated at the world-renowned institutions that are MIT, Harvard, again, Stanford and Yale and so forth and so forth. That's not what's happening with the poor immigrants that are coming here through the border. They're poor, right? They're going to really be a burden on the system. Whereas the Chinese folks are coming here, they're not going to be a burden on the system, really, because it's their own money, right? But our government, led by Donald Trump, said, "To hell with that." The Chinese government. This could be, they're coming here. Their kids are taking advantage of some potentially. They're not allies of ours. They're sort of, they're coming and extracting resources here, pretty much, and potentially can be infiltrating, right? Learning from our, renowned education institutions, taking those spaces up from Americans, Black Americans, all Americans, right? All because there is a loophole in our with birthright citizenship. You can't do that with China. So we are the little people on the ground arguing about some DACA kid or little Mexican kid that's coming across the border. But the real issue is these.
Ma'am, the real issue is that we black people, we don't use those opportunities when they come across. We wait up until
Wait,
somebody else uses it.
wait.
That's right.
I don't like that you cut her off at the end there. Let her finish that. I know you feel you.
No, but Cookie
but
understands what I'm talking about, and you don't, Smiley.
well,
You don't.
you're gonna say
Cookie,
that, but I just told Cookie to let you finish your
I know,
thought
but
when he
Cookie,
just
all right, but
cut
that's
you
fine.
off.
But I don't need you to do that.
I
We're only
understand your thought, and you don't understand me, but I will let you
because you
finish your
sounded
thought, and
okay.
then we can have a separate
You sound a
conversation.
little okay, but if you don't,
Excuse me.
if you told me you
Sorry.
didn't understand what bloodline citizenship versus birth tourism, I can't help you. You kind of
No,
sounded slow. All right, let Cookie finish, please. I want to hear what Cookie has to say because I think he
me
understands
asking
what I'm talking.
for clarity with what
But
you're saying.
we don't need
Yes,
your
I would
level of
always want
moderation
clarity.
though.
Bro,
We don't
you
need your
can't be
level of
diplomatic with
moderation.
these people, bro. They
Go
don't
ahead,
go.
Cookie.
No,
They don't
it's
go the
not.
diplomatic way.
Yeah, and it's funny because now she's getting mad at me when I agreed with everything she said, and then the moment I asked for clarity, then it was like, oh, you don't understand like he understands. Mind you, prior to that, she was yelling at you, and you didn't understand.
No, I wasn't
But
yelling at Cookie.
I digress.
I
It's
never
fine.
yelled at
It's
Cookie.
fine. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. I just wanted you to be able to finish your thought and convey what you wanted to convey. One of the things I said not too long ago was, this is one of the things that makes this live great. You do not get shut down and kicked out just because you were speaking and people did not agree. So the moment somebody came and cut you off, mind you, it's
But I
another
don't
mod.
care. I didn't complain
And it
about
was okay. It was like,
okay, sir, can we have a
oh my God. All
conversation?
right. I was just saying, you know
All
what?
right, you only have
Finish
two
your
people on the
thought was
panel.
what
You're
the
the
point
moderator.
was.
Let your panelists have a conversation. So the birth tourism that the Chinese have been capitalizing on, unlike any other nation, that's what was triggering the bloodline citizenship in the United States. It wasn't any other country. Those other countries were a distraction. They're going to get deported. But the Chinese came in a very strategic way with the birth tourism. They literally set up mini hospitals in Los Angeles and very affluent communities in New York City. They're birthing centers. They look like houses and mansions, but they're birthing centers where there are young women that come here, have their babies, go back to China, raise those children in the Chinese culture, and boom, send them back here to the United States to get an American education so that they can compete with America long term. This could be then this is why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing. But no one's talking about that at this level because most folks don't. Cookie seems to be understanding what's happening. Even my friend, I said he was Irish. There are some other European nations who do the same. But the vitriol toward those individuals aren't the same as bad as it is for the Latin American countries, right? Because they're poor down there. They're doing it a different way. That's a lot. I just wanted to bring that to the table. Please tell me what. Somebody in the chat wants to tell me what.
No. That's me, mamas. So when I was saying that, everything you said, I agree with. I didn't agree with, I'm sorry, I didn't disagree with any of what you were saying until you got to certain points. It's like, you don't agree with the way I interpret the same information. I know for a fact when someone comes to this country, an old term is anchor baby. I get that. Oh, somebody recording and it's like fucking up the.
Yeah, anchor baby is different than
Okay.
birth tourism.
No.
No, anchor baby is different than birth tourism. How is it the same?
Yes, it's similar in the fact that you obtain citizenship through the fact the child was born on this soil. Now, when you explain birth tourism, you explained it as, hey, I'm going to come back for that. My child belong here. So my child's going to come back here. So now that child needs to have dual citizenship, right? Because that's the only way you can go back to that.
Anchor babies.
That's not.
Anchor babies are different than birth tourism. I'm just going to put on.
No. You didn't
Totally
let me
different.
finish. Why
different.
won't you let me finish? Why won't you let me finish? Because I
you're
didn't even
slow.
get back to
Because
anchor
you're
babies.
slow.
No,
slow.
madam.
And they're
I'm not even, madam.
Let me,
Madam,
Smiley, let
madam,
me
I'm
introduce,
not.
let
I'm
me
not
wedge in here.
talking.
Let me introduce
You're
808.
right.
The
Go ahead.
sister was up here before and
You're
she
right.
didn't get a chance
Go
to
ahead.
speak and she dropped. So 808, how you doing, Auntie?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the panel.
I'm
Do you want
doing
to,
good.
good to hear.
I'm just, hey everybody
How
who
you
doesn't
doing?
know me. I'm 808. I'm a mod up here too. I come up sometimes. So blessings to everybody who I agree with and who I don't agree with. I just want to say that first and foremost.
Absolutely.
This is all TikTok discussions and discourse and some bullshit mixed in together. So is in regards to the 14th Amendment, in regards to the bloodline citizenship or anchor baby, et cetera, et cetera. The thing about it is I think people, and I'm not, we all know what this country was founded on, at least I hope so. But I'm gonna go on. Were you about ready to say something, sir? At the bottom, only thing I see is
we can
happy
hear you.
faces. So I don't know.
We can hear you breathing. I'm going to mute you, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I
So
want to say I'm so sorry. It wasn't that. I'm sorry. Oh shit. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were
I done
about
seen
ready
some
to
shit and
say
I was laughing
something.
at the chat.
Oh, okay. So basically, the whole quote unquote idea of this country was to be different from other countries who did have bloodline citizenship and things that are being discussed now. The basis of this country was, I can't think of the term right now, it's late. But anyway, I'll think of it in a minute. But anyway, it was based off of a different idea. Okay. And they actually talk about that in the 14th Amendment. They talk about that in a lot of the Constitution. Okay. So, for the people who are hoping that the people who are hoping that bloodline citizenship comes into effect, it's not. Because this country wasn't built off of that. So this country was actually built off of immigration, whether it was forced slavery or whether it was Ellis Island or anything like that. So, basically you're arguing in circles because if you actually, which I don't know if anybody did, but if you actually listen to the Supreme Court, because you can listen to them when they're discussing these things, they were actually, when they brought up the issue, they were actually talking about the indigenous folks of this country and what would you do with that? They weren't even talking about our black asses. So you have to be very careful because if you get rid of if you get rid of the 14th Amendment, just say birthright citizenship and all of that kind of stuff, that is what made us citizens, right? So we are only here attached by an amendment. That's it. Now, people can get in their feelings and people can say, oh, Trump is going to do this. I don't care for Trump. As a matter of fact, I don't care for either party. However, that will not happen. And people can jump up and say it will, but it won't. Immigration is due process. That's the word I was looking for. Excuse me. That's what this country was based off of, due process, right? Immigration is over $1 billion industry. This country is about money at the end of the day, not about feelings, not about our feelings, not about what we think. And oh, our president, whomever the president might be, is going to do X, Y, and Z. You do not have enough money, none of us on this panel, to shake shit and make anything happen. The corporations of this world or of this country and this world does. And that's who makes the policies. And immigration has a lot to do with that. Immigration has more people coming over, more resources. I think people get it mixed up. Pete Hegseth said it well. He said, we are resources. He asked the mothers and fathers of this country to give up their most valuable resource, which is their children. And people lose that. People don't hear what people are saying. They do not hear these people's words. They hear what they want to hear. Just like people now read what they want to read. That's why we're in these discussions of whether you're an FBA, which I don't really give a rat's ass, whether you're an indigenous person all of a sudden now, because I don't give a rat's ass, but people can't even read anymore. They can, and no, ma'am, the Scottish will not support Trump because I hate to tell you this. Okay.
Scottish? You mean
No,
SCOTUS?
no, ma'am.
The
Go back on
SCOTUS.
mute. Go back on mute.
Oh, shut
No,
up.
they will not.
Goodbye.
And I
They
hate to
will. They
tell
will. They
you
have,
this. I will hate
you
because
don't
they're
know
already,
anything. You don't know
they
anything.
are, they are already, thank you. They are already going against it. And if you want to sit up here and think that the Scottish is going to support Trump because all of a sudden you see these Republicans up there, they already went against him on the tariffs and they are making him pay back money on those tariffs. So stop getting in your feelings. And evidently, you do not know how government works. And that is the problem. That's the problem. Nobody knows how government works. And that's it.
Thank you,
That's
808.
that's it.
Thank you
Sorry.
for that insight. No, it's fine. It's fine. That lady, I just couldn't respond to her without feeling like I couldn't, I couldn't educate her the way you do it. You educate in the right way, and if she gets triggered by anything you say, she just kind of goes off on somebody. But I needed an equilibrium. Like I
Yeah.
needed another.
I don't care if you want to be a diehard American Trump supporter, love Trump till the day you unalive. I really don't give a rat's ass. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to get into that. I don't care if you're a blue MAGA. I don't care if you're a red MAGA. I do not care. The point is words matter and these laws matter. And these
I love that you
processes,
said that.
yeah, and these processes matter. And if you do not have a grasp and a hold of this, and you are basically going off of feelings, then you're going to get left behind. Here's another thing. Executive orders don't mean shit. It doesn't matter if it comes from a Democrat. It doesn't matter if it comes from a Republican, because I'm going to tell you something. They do not supersede the Constitution. This is the reason
Nothing
why,
does.
wait a minute. This is the reason why executive orders do not supersede the Constitution. If they are unconstitutional, and if they do not line up with the law, then guess what ends up happening? Then they're like, okay, no, this doesn't proceed. And and you know what? It could be the same thing with a Biden. It could be the same thing with an Obama. It doesn't matter to me. That's the reason why they're in court, and they're in the federal court. And a lot of these executive orders, it doesn't matter which president, have been knocked down if they don't line up. And then the next president will come in and write another one. So anyway,
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
there's still checks and balances, you know. That's why I do understand what you're
Hold up.
saying. Ada.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
What
it.
was up,
I'm
Glenn?
done.
Something's up with.
All right,
I
man.
got 2 restrictions and a violation while I was gone, so that like reduced my numbers to this. So I'm gonna restart it. Okay, guys, you guys are more than willing to come
Well,
back
it
up.
was. I guarantee you it was because of the woman we refused to kick out. But yeah, do your thing. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
The
Thank
one
you.
lady
Thank
who
you.
was just up here.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
all the Black
Yes.
Americans that have an FBA tonality to them.
Yeah, she was she was on some stuff, and you had to turn the deal with her, and you got the light end of dealing with her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
That's
was
why I
on
was
when
like,
I
I'll
came
let
up here
808
earlier.
handle
I
this,
came.
Smiley, because it's a woman and women. They could, they can see eye to eye, but she could do it in a formal way.
You know what? You're
But she was
correct
still offended. She was still
because
offended
you
regardless.
can't. You know what? I'll see you when you come back.